The only thing that I can think of is that the park is closed because it snowed.
What's this? Another Gillespie.
Cabin. I need to make my sense. I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I don't really have a lot of options. I can't just pull over in somebody's yard and start pulling stuff out of the truck. I don't know if I'll be able to even get in where I'm trying to go to. But it's on my way to where I'm gonna have to sleep tonight.
Randy's.
Maybe. Did they plow the parking lot? They sure as hell did. Oh shit, if I can get over this hump. Oh. They sure to hell did. Hell yeah. Thank God. Damn, I wish I had a joint. I don't though. Shit's slippery.
Where the fuck is
Smoke
she
one
going?
for me, yes, please. I am on marijuana suspension until further notice. I'm giving it a break. That and alcohol. Until I figure out what the hell is gonna happen. Oh. Oh shit. Is this water? Y'all, I think this is water. I don't know about this. Shit. Maybe it's not. Well, I see grass. I just don't want to fall down in here and die.
Why are we even out here? I really don't get why we're even out here.
Shit's froze. It's pretty. Okay. I had enough. That was more than enough. I came. I went. I saw. I celebrated. Snow, yay. Snow day. Oh my God. Small boat launch.
This was a great use of gas. Why are we here? Weirdo. Just a weirdo, man.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, it's some river. The Dan River. The damn Dan River. It's the damn Dan River. Sure is. That's a damn river. That's a damn river, I tell you. Oh, God. I know, the weather. I know, I enjoy the snow. I really do. I'm grateful for the snow. I like it in small doses. That's something I realized. I'm out of breath, y'all. I've got to get back into it. Seriously.
I'm trying to do this more often. If I can.
I like it in small doses. I can't do this for longer than 4 or 5 days. I'll absolutely go crazy. Snowed in. I mean, now, if I got some damn movies, some alcohol, tons of food, options to cook from, and I might be able to chill for like a week, like depending.
You got drunk watching movies with Randy.
On the circumstances and where I'm stuck. But any longer than 3 or 4 days, I start to feel claustrophobic and isolated. And surprisingly, like...
Yeah, we will play Oregon Trail one day.
Earlier in the week, it didn't even bother me. But this morning when I saw this shit, I was like, I gotta go. I need to get this truck cleaned up somehow. I gotta take these boots off because they're wet. And I gotta get back. Oh, God, I'm such a lard, y'all. Look at that. Whew. That's what happens when you eat donuts. I went from a flat tummy to a gut in a week. A week. I've had honey buns. I've had donuts. I've had just about everything you can think of that's sweet, honey. And I'm thinking about a Cinnabon right now. Y'all, my hair, I'm having sensory issues. Oh, I gotta come out of this. I can't move. My arms are limited. Oh, at least it's starting to, God, it's a fucking gorgeous view. I might damn.
Is it just a field of snow again?
Because I done showed it on live. I was gonna say I might stay here tonight, but I'm not because y'all know people are crazy. I need a clip. I really need an outfit change. I feel like a stuffed sausage, okay? I really do. This is why Brooke doesn't eat sweets, because it only takes a week to turn into a lard and nothing fits. Oh, usually it's too big, but today it's too small. You know what I mean? Oh, God. I really want something comfortable to put on. This outfit's getting on my nerves. I'm a sausage. And just think, it's still too big. Just think, it's way too big.
Doesn't look too big.
It is a cute outfit. It came from Forever 21. But God, do I feel like a damn smoked sausage in the damn thing trying to maneuver around. I need something comfortable. Do I want to get in the back and struggle? I guess. Fuck. I was going to get out and grab clothes, but I guess I'm going to just hop back there. I'm going to just jump in the back. This was where I was at that night. That creepy ass officer rolled up on me. Y'all wasn't gonna tell me my hair looked crazy. This is where I was when that officer rolled up on me, hitting on me in the middle of the night, and I was out by myself, and he's like, oh, why don't you go down there and park? And thinking about it now, y'all, he could have killed me.
This one does.
Seriously, he could have killed me. There would have been nothing I could have done. There was a river right in front of me. There would have been nowhere for me to go. So thank God he wasn't a Daniel Holcloth, because if he would have been, I would have been screwed. And you know, at that point, I'd already...
The one time she uses a full name, I have no idea who she's talking about. It would have been better if she just said Daniel. Who the hell's Daniel Holcloth?
Already committed to parking where he was advising me to park, and he's law enforcement. So I'm just, you know... I already agreed to park there before he hit on me. I was parked by the river, like here. Gorgeous view, by the way. Look at this. I was parked by the river, and it was a full moon. It was lovely. The moon was, like, so bright. And I was backed in, so, like, the river was behind me. And I'm in the back seat.
Is it a full moon tonight?
And all of a sudden, I see lights coming through my window covers. And I said, oh, Lord, that's probably the police. So I pulled the window cover down. I looked out the window, and sure enough, it was the police. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? I got window covers up. I'm in the back seat on my bed.
Well, that's not good.
What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm getting ready for bed. What does it look like I'm doing? You think I'm about to bake cookies back here with a damn Easy Bake Oven or something? I wish, but I'm not.
Maybe.
I'm going to bed, officer. He's like, well, what are you doing out here? Who wants to tell him that I'm a van lifer and I live out of my car, even though he's standing right in front of me and can clearly see with his own two damn eyes that I'm a van lifer and live out of my car? And I said, well, officer, it's a beautiful full moon. I was trying to enjoy the full moon. I got a night off from the winery down the road. I was enjoying the full moon on a Saturday night that I have off. And he's like, oh, it's not a good idea to park here. We get so many calls. We've already gotten multiple calls about your truck. People are freaked out that it's a black truck with black tinted windows and they can't see inside. And first of all, okay, I'll give them that. I'll give them that. From the outside, it's darker than the inside. Okay, I'll give them that. But you know you in a damn town with some boomers that ain't got shit to do if they calling the police every time they see a black Chevrolet with black tinted windows. That's that damn middle-aged white women bullshit that I can't stand. And I say that because the majority of this town is middle-aged white women. So I'm just saying,
That was men.
you know, it ain't no damn 80-year-old Asian women calling the cops on me because my truck is black with tinted windows. It's usually middle-aged white women around here. So, you know, I
thought that incident happened in Florida. Whatever. I'm only half paying attention.
it was funny because he's like, we've already gotten multiple calls about your truck being parked at a river. I'm sorry. I didn't know that I needed to go through the damn Department of Homeland Security to park at a river and enjoy the full moon. I thought that that was damn public domain. I thought this was a free country. I didn't know I needed to send in a damn application to the government to be parked by the fucking river to enjoy a full moon.
Well, you
It's
do.
crazy. I mean, this is small town
Apparently, I don't know.
bullshit, but it's small town bullshit. So then he's like, oh, well, it's not very safe out here. You need to be careful out here. Why are you saying that? You the only person I even saw out here. Now you're freaking me out. Like, are you a crazy killer? Like,
They were playing Morgan Whaley.
officer, are you a crazy killer? Because why are you telling me it's dangerous out here and I need to be careful? You're the only person I've even saw out here. Then he's like, oh, you can go park over here. And I agreed to. I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea because I'm an idiot. And I went over there to park. And then he says, before I'm leaving out, he says, ooh, you're cute. I bet your man's happy or something. And I was like, yeah, he is. And I was playing it off because it was weird. You know, I've never had,
Anyone hit on you?
I don't know. I ain't had nobody like be that fucking forward.
Fuck are you even saying right now? You said you were trafficked for like 20 years.
These are the
Never thought somebody would be that forward to say that, oh, you're a pretty nice looking woman there.
sweater pants I was talking about.
Whip a mouse at her head.
Also grabbed another pair of gym shorts. And I don't have room for them. And I need to make this bed. I guess we can do that right now. Oh, God. The donuts. You know what's crazy is I'm sitting there eating all these damn donuts. I'm telling myself, Brooke. You know better. And
What
you
are you
deserve it.
doing?
You deserve something sweet, you know?
No, you don't. Well, yeah, I'm just saying that because she says she's been eating like dozens of donuts throughout the week and Cinnabons and fritters.
Because you're sweet. Okay. Alright. I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. But I do know I'm taking these breeches off. And putting these
Nope,
baggy-ass
never, Amy.
sweatpants on.
I mean, based off of
Right,
what she earned, probably not. Apparently, someone made fun of her teeth
Oh,
and then
shit.
cashed
And
after
here comes Some
$500.
creep pulling up as I'm trying to change. Some creep that's probably...
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you're,
fucking creeps.
you remember how you were just going off about looking at the moon in a public space and people not minding their own business? This guy is in a public space. You're not supposed to be changing in public spaces. How would he even have known? Are you gonna say that he was watching the live stream? She probably will, actually. She says that before.
Some lady and her fucking husband.
Usual suspects? You're gonna say that?
Give a fuck, I'm about to change. So if y'all see titties and ass, y'all see titties and ass, cause the park is closed and I have nowhere else to go.
Go in a washroom somewhere. Or bathroom.
I love how they got a camera, like they gonna come out here and take pictures, but she can't even get her ass out the car. Like, people be giving themselves away.
So it was the woman who wanted to go spy on Brooke. All right, husband, let's go. You're gonna be my protection. I'm gonna take pictures of Brooke changing. We're gonna beeline out of there.
Did I tell y'all that I saw some lady at Walmart taking pictures of me? Like, when was that? Friday or Saturday of last week?
She's at the boat launch. The boat. Why are they at the boat launch? It's frozen. Like everything's frozen.
I think it was Friday because it snowed. Anyways, I'm standing there. I'm about to check out. I go over to the cake to pick up some cake. It's like one of those, you know, where the chips and stuff are when you're about to check out, and damn, they got the last minute, you can buy this or that right next to the register. And I go to get cake, and when I turn around, I realize that there was a lady behind me taking pictures of me from behind. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know, she probably recognized me from the internet. It's like, oh, she's not in Florida, she's in North Carolina. Like,
Are you sure they're just not on their phone? And you're thinking they're taking pictures of you?
So as a baby, I was a cyborg. Baby cyborg Heather.
At Betterdava size YL3X super chatted $10. Good morning, good little smile with a halo. Ashley, what you got for us today? WOOE.
She did baby cyborg Heather. Thank you for the 10, Betty Davis size. Heather scheduled 2 streams today. At the same time I scheduled my stream. But then she didn't go live because I don't know. Maybe Xavier was missing again. And she was just doing it to make him come back. I think Heather's lost her mind. I feel semi bad for her.
Like, y'all, I've never had more people obsessed over what I'm doing and where I'm at. It's kind of crazy. It's weird. It's weird. Super weird.
I don't like full blown crazy. I like half cocked, super confident crazy. You know what I mean?
Oh, my nose is running.
But Heather's gone full crazy lately, and it's a little concerning.
So they pulled up.
Maybe not. I mean, like, she's gotten this far in life being crazy, so I'm sure she'll be fine. I was gonna say concern for Xavier, but I don't really give a fuck about Xavier. So, if she had her kids, it'd be concerning, but she doesn't. So, everything will be fine.
They were looking in my car. She has a camera, one of those big, like, cameras. She has a camera. She rolls her window down, takes one picture, and then they drive off. Whatever. People are just weird, y'all.
I mean, this is like a good test of Chicago. Chicago, you're being audited. Your mental health services are obviously not fucking working because you got a crazy woman running around your streets in multiple agencies, and you guys haven't done anything about it. What's up with that? What's up with that, Chicago?
That's all I'm saying. They're weird. They're fucking weird.
Like, she's just running into government buildings, showing the pictures of Xavier, and being like, I don't know, everything's crazy. Calling up universities, being like, you're testing on ferrets and people. I need to speak to the dean. Like, how is nobody reporting this? How is she not being institutionalized?
I don't make the rules. I gotta make this bad. I wish I had a stand to put it up there, but unfortunately, I don't. I can't. It won't. It won't. So
Could be bird
weird.
watchers? Maybe. I don't know why they're there, but I don't think they're there because of Brooke, right? The most likely thing, they're maybe there to do drugs. Like, it's a secluded place. They're probably just trying to go somewhere to be alone. Maybe they're trying to make out. I don't know.
I really need to take everything out and organize everything, but not today. You know what I mean? God, I'm so dry. I need some damn lotion is what I need. I look like damn Casper's sister. Give me this.
I say drugs because people, places, and things is where Brooke gets her drugs, apparently. Like this city. Small, sleepy town.
Oh, wrangle this bitch in. Oh, Lord. Because I need to damn pull everything out and reorganize. It's a fucking mess. Alright. You know, the problem is I have way too much shit. I can't. Jesus Christ. I keep picking up more shit and then there's more shit to pick up. When I build something, I'm gonna lower it like 4 inches. Alright. I need to get this shit. Towels. I don't remember, but you know, it was because your nose is running down your face, so I love it. I'm gonna say it till I die. It's adorable. Snotty Robertson. Yeah, you gotta have the Tide, and I actually like the Oxy because it takes smells out of your car.
She's just gonna be like a potato bug rolling around in her backseat all day. What the fuck is happening?
If my mom said, hypothetical, if my mom said some kind of smart ass shit to me and I said something smart back to her, I wouldn't be alive today. See, my parents didn't play that shit. My parents didn't play that shit, okay? I remember getting beat for shrugging my shoulders. They'd ask me a question, and let's say I got in trouble at school, and they wanted to know why the teacher had called them. Why the teacher called me. If I did this number, I was getting a backhand to the face. This was not allowed in the home. You were not allowed to say, I don't know. You were not allowed, you know.
You say I don't know all the time.
When I say these things.
What'd you learn in school today? I don't fucking know, dude. Last time I told you, you did a whole hubbubaloo about Matt Damon and fucking... Was it Matt Damon? Who's in the Bourne Supremacy? Or, I don't know, the Bourne Trilogy. Anyways, yeah, fuck parents.
Things out loud, I realize how abusive they are.
At least my parents. My parents were annoying as fuck. Well, half of them. This isn't important.
I really do. Not allowing your child to ask you a question. Not allowing your child to answer a question. Hitting your child because they simply don't know the answer to a question. I don't think I've ever processed that. That's fucked up. That's probably part of the reason that I'm dumb. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Thank you so much. But serious, we weren't allowed to ask questions. We weren't allowed to, and I say we, but it was really just me. But, you know, I was the first one, so I was the guinea pig of the family. And the eldest always, in my opinion, has it the worst because the parents really don't have any rhyme or reason to the way that they're parenting yet. It's usually by the 3rd or 4th kid that they get it under wraps, and then they're alive.
3rd or 4th kid. I kind of agree with her here a bit. Like, if you have kids really young, too, like, your first kid's gonna kind of, you know, you're learning how to be a parent still, right? So you might fuck up a bit.
A lot more lenient. They're not as strict. They, you know, they can chill out a little bit. They've gotten the parental thing down. So, you know, in my opinion, sometimes in abusive households, families, the eldest can actually get it the worst because they're the most coherent out, you know, if you've got like...
What do you mean the most coherent? What?
Like, for instance, my situation, you know, my siblings were younger, so the first memories...
Oh, it's acne medication.
...are the memories that I have of the house. You see what I'm saying? Outside of what my parents say happened. So there's a lot of discrepancies in how we were raised and how we all feel we were raised. Does that make any sense? It's crazy how you can live in the same house as another person and live 2 separate fucking lives. And matter of fact, there was 5, 6, 7, 8 of us kids. So I say that because I don't know how many siblings I have. But, you know...
But it's like the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? Like, the parents are gonna focus on the problem kid. That sounds bad, but let's say, like, okay, you have 4 kids in a house, right? One is smoking crack, one is just gay, one is just bad at homework, and the other one is just throwing poop in the walls at school or something. You're gonna focus on the crackhead. You're gonna try to save your kid that's doing crack before you worry about the rest of them.
Yeah. There was a lot of us, and by the time they got down to my siblings, they were chilled out a lot. It was nothing like what they done to me. It's just crazy how you can grow up in a household with siblings and family, and y'all...
Like this, having kids is cringe. There's too many people on Earth already. I mean, It's crazy. If you had asked me even 2 months ago what my outlook on life was, it would have been way more positive. I'm with you, George. I'm with you. Right now is a good, it's a good point of view to have.
Y'all have complete, utter opposite perspectives on how the house was ran. You know what?
I've questioned like 4 times if like everything's just a psyop at this point. I've never wanted to kill people more in my life. It's insane. I feel like I'm turning into a crazy person.
The characteristics of the family environment were, you know, you can have different perspectives on different situations that took place over the years. It's just crazy how people see things differently through different eyes at different times. But, you know, the eldest, they're the oldest. So, you know, in my experience, I remember things that my siblings don't remember because I was the oldest. And also, I think that I lived through things that my siblings did not have to endure. I think by the time my siblings come around, my parents had their shit together more. For the first 2 years of my life, it was solely me, my abusive alcoholic father, and my biological mother. By the time my sibling came along, one of my siblings, my mother had done divorced my bio father and got
She has an older brother, by the way, so like,
with another man who she would marry for 20 years until she died. She would be with him.
you know?
Get him to come and arrest me! I just walked 12 miles!
And that is perfectly fine, and I will allow you to pay for your...
Hurry up and check me out before I go to jail!
At Tiv 36 super chatted $5. Hump Day Wednesday with Brooke.
Oh, thank you, Tim. Thank you for the 5. Yeah, see, Westman's with me. She has an older brother. Mm-hmm.
With him until she died. So, you know, my siblings were not really in the house like I was because they weren't even born yet. So I just know that something happened in my childhood. I've been learning
Wait, she tells stories, man.
a lot about parental alienation recently. I definitely think that when
So as a baby, I was a cyborg. Baby cyborg Heather.
At Xday super chatted $36.66. Heart.
Oh, thank you, CJ. Thank you for the 50. Conversion rates are bad these days, apparently. I really appreciate you. Ashley, why are you doing doubles? We have like 20, over 20 to choose from, I think, because they're all on, except the holiday ones. Don't be doing doubles, Ashley. I don't think Ashley's listening to me. But thank you, CJ. I really appreciate you.
I was growing up, my mother was a young mother. I think that she probably had her hands full, and I do think that I was probably left alone for large periods of time, unattended. I don't know why I feel this way, but I do. There was a disconnect.
But what do you mean? Were you actually left alone, or were you just feel like you were left alone? Because that's 2 different things.
Hands full, and I do think that I was probably left alone for large periods of time, unattended. I don't know why I feel this way, but I do.
But that's nonsense. Like, you can't base things off of a fucking feeling. If she had a memory or something, that'd be different. There's a very distinct memory of mine before my brother was born. I was in the backyard of my grandparents' well, like my grandma on my dad's side. And I don't know what there was like a friend over of my parents or something, and they went to the front yard to say goodbye to them, and they left me in the backyard, and I couldn't open the door yet. Like, I don't think I knew how to open the door. Like, it was one of those you had to push in the things and then pull it, like push in the buttons and pull it. Anyways, I was trapped in the backyard alone, and I thought they had just forgotten about me forever. Like, I was gonna live in the backyard now. I remember freaking the fuck out, and they came back eventually, but she doesn't have anything like that, no memory like that or anything.
There was a disconnect between me and my mother. This disconnect was so distant. You typically see this type of distance in a mother and a daughter when the child has been...
Yeah, it's pretty goofy. And my parents didn't leave me alone. They were gone for maybe 5 minutes, but I was just like, oh my God, I'm alone right now. No one's around. I could die.
Has been ignored. Essentially, it's where a child is left and no attention, love, affection is being given to the child, and so it causes the child to have extreme behavioral problems when they enter into school. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. How old are you supposed to? Maybe I'll just look it up. How old are you supposed to be left home alone? Pretty sure my mom was leaving me home alone when I was like 9. She's like, "You're good, right? If the cops come, don't answer the door."
You know, when learning about this stuff, it really... I guess it helps me, it helps me gain insight into what my parents went through when they had me and how young they were, and how when you're young
10 to 12. Okay, so that's not that crazy.
and you have children like that, nobody knows what the fuck they're doing unless you have somebody that teaches you. Unless you have a mom or a grandma or an uncle or an aunt or somebody, you know, that cares about you and steps in and guides you into being a parental figure, you'll absolutely fail without a village teaching you how to parent. That is one of those things where you have to have somebody help you help yourself. And I never received that with my children. Now, my daughter was different, but my son, I absolutely never received any kind of that guidance. And that's part of the reason I don't have my children, is because...
Oh, what? No, you don't have your children because the first kid you only had to get out of going to jail. And then the second one, you broke her arm and you didn't... Let's say you didn't break your arm. I don't know how you wouldn't know your kid's arm is fucking broken for 2 weeks. This is why you don't have your kids, you goofball.
I had no one when I had my children. My mother was already dead. Everybody was already dead. I had no one.
Only her mom has died.
You absolutely need your family.
She was just about to go to fucking church with her great aunt or something. Remember? She has family. They just don't want anything to do with her.
To have children. You're gonna need a family. Whether it's your family or somebody else's family, it don't matter, bitch. You better go find one, because you're gonna need a whole damn village. Especially if you're a single parent. It is damn near impossible in this economy to raise children and manage all of that on your own. I mean, kudos to all of the single mothers out there making shit happen for them and their children, because for me, economically, it was impossible.
Whatever. Single moms were just built different back in the day. You'd see like crackheads getting by, raising like a family of 4 and just making shit work. What's the excuse in today's day and age? Tell me.
So, you know, my children are in a safe place, and it absolutely sucks every single day, especially when I get to experience all of these beautiful things. And, you know, the most beautiful things in the world that I want to experience, I can't even have access to. You know, and learning about my parents, though, and recognizing these psychological things that I've been through, and how it's impacted me, the only thing I can do to help my children at this point is to better myself and try to focus on fixing myself for them in hopes of someday them finding me, you know.
What? Okay, well, hopefully that never happens. And the sad thing is, it probably will happen, like, because, I don't know. Would you want to not meet your biological mother? Some people do, some people don't. I guess. I really don't know. I just hope not.
I can't change the past. I can't change anything. I just know that I've made a lot of poor decisions. And when I wanted to make better choices. And I think that I'm slowly but surely making progress. I have noticed that it's financial, you know, my insecurities, my stress, it becomes...
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm just thinking, like, what the kids could possibly remember of Brooke. The daughter probably wouldn't want to because her arm was broken under her care. And then the son watched Brooke beat the fuck out of her roommate when they were living all together. And then he got arrested, so... he probably doesn't want to see her again either.
You know, when I got like bills due and shit's popping up, headlights breaking, damn $200 a pop almost. Y'all, I'm so ashy. I'm literally leaving dust particles on my seat. I need lotion. Lord have mercy. I don't think I've ever in my life. I turned into Casper. I ain't got no lotion in this damn car. You know I got to have some lotion in here. Loshi. Where's Hannibal Lecter when you need him? I was about to say something, I forgot.
Well, hopefully they would find her YouTube channel before, like, trying to reach out to her directly or something. I don't know how they would find out who their mom is.
Oh, going back to raising children, you know.
I mean, their dad, I don't know if they have contact with their dads. Their dads were in prison, but I don't know what they were in prison for. If it's just drugs, then, like, I could see them being able to contact the kids, and they would say, yeah, your mother is Heather Brooke Clark. just give it a goo, honey. See what your mom's about.
There was a time where I was spending upwards of, you know, $350, $400 a week. It was $50 a day for childcare. Managing that by myself, I didn't get no voucher from no damn CPS. They didn't help me with shit. You know, that was the craziest part. Y'all want to come in and tell me how to raise my kids, but I ain't never asked y'all for shit. I wasn't getting no housing voucher. I paid for everything myself. Had my own little house. Daughter had her own bedroom. I had my master.
I think that's bullshit too, but I don't know. I can't think of specifics. Her rent was pretty fucking cheap. And I'm pretty sure she was on Medicaid before. But she'll say she wasn't up until the last time that it was canceled. She'll like, I'm Medicaid for 1 month. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't even get a card.
Master bedroom, 2-bath, 2-bed house. Things were good. See,
trailer.
that's the problem though. The state knew that I was indigent. The state knew, and I wasn't indigent. I was a.
Should we play the video? I didn't say Siri at all. Get out of here, Siri. Now I'm just, what was I trying to say? Should we play the video of like the 2 weeks before her kid's arm was broken? And it wasn't a house. It was a fucking trailer. She was complaining she was going to move out. And she doesn't have an accent. Well, she's like a half-baked accent here. Hold on. It's on Chris E's channel. Oh. It wasn't cooperating with me. So this is the 2-bedroom house, apparently, where she was not asking anyone for anything. Let me see if we can, I'm just curious if she's going to mention any, like, subsidized government nonsense.
All right, y'all. So I'm having a problem this morning. I just found 2 kids under my back porch. Like, I've told these kids to stay off of my property more than once, and I am so over it. I work third. Like, you can obviously tell, like, I'm tired. Like, and these kids pretty much, like, they're so lucky, first of all, that they didn't wake me up. Second of all, where the hell are your freaking parents? When I went out there and told them to get the fuck off my property, I asked them where their mothers were. Their mothers are at work. They are like 7 years old. They're out in the cold, unattended, doing God knows what. I just can't believe people. I can't believe how people raise their children anymore. I remember growing up, I could not go outside if it was below a certain degrees. I couldn't wear shorts if it was not like July. Like, I see these kids running around in short sleeves, no socks on in their shoes. Like, it just really confuses me. And, I feel, I don't know what to do. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I am trying to move. We are moving. Me and Matt and Drew are moving.
I didn't have anyone in my life, you guys. No baby daddy. No financial support. But this guy named Matt,
and we're moving
that I was living with in this trailer
to Greensboro. I've been in this property for 3 years, and I've had nothing but problems from my neighbors.
Yeah, Drew is her kid's name, her daughter's name.
I've had to call the cops before so that I could leave my own property because my neighbors that live in front of me were out in my driveway fist fighting over drugs. And this is not an exaggeration. Like, they were UFC fighting in front of my vehicle.
USB fighting. Not the dad, not the daddy. He was the boyfriend, at least at the time.
Over drugs. I needed to be at work, and Drew needed to be at the sitters.
Why is she call? Isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's like Vivi, Drew. Like Viviana's her first name, because the you remember the venereal disease tattoo. VD, Vivian Drew or something. That's how I know that. So I don't even know why. Why are you calling her by her middle name? That's a boy's name.
They scream, they
That'd be like if my parents were calling my brother Jack just Lynn. You know, us than Lynn. Like, who the fuck is Lynn? The boy? The boy you gave a girl's middle name to?
yell, they fight, they're in and out, in and out. I don't know what they're doing over there. I just know I'm over it. You know, I was renting to buy pretty much, and now I just got a letter the other day stating that they would lower my rent $155 for me to stay in this property, which would make my rent $395. This is a nice trailer. It's nice. I love my house.
Not a house, trailer. I don't know. We're interchanging that shit. But there you go. Less than $500 for rent. Now we're paying $3,000 to live out of a truck. Make it make sense.
Unfortunately, I can't stay because of my neighbors and their brats. And I'm over it. Like, if I would have been asleep right now and caught them little boys on my property, it would have been really bad if they would have woke me up. Like, I'm over it. And I just don't understand how people just throw their kids out of the house at 9 a.m. and say, just go play. Get out of my hair. Like, people are failing at parenting.
Your daughter's arm is broken like 2 weeks after this, bro.
I'm the dancer. Like, you know, I mean, my neighbors, like, everyone knows what I do. Like, it's no secret. Like, they've seen my truck decaled with my YouTube name. So, like, you know, all of you guys talk about me, but I'm the one doing what I'm supposed to do. So
I would have loved to see, like, I don't know, what they were all saying at the time. You're a terrible parent, Brooke. Probably deleted the comments. I think there was Instagram lives and Facebook lives that are gone now, because before YouTube, she had like a whole year of streaming somewhere else.
So it's really funny. I don't throw my kid out on the street and go to work when it's freezing outside just to get them out of my hair. Like, I would never do that. They knock
Maybe they would have been better off if you did that. They'd been away from you.
on my door. The children here knock on my door and they ask to have my daughter come out and play with them. Hell no. Hell no. Like, there's no way in hell. You couldn't pay me to let my kid play with your kid. Like, there's no way, because I see how your kid acts. I hear what your kid says. I see what they do. Like, I've come back from Miami before and had drug paraphernalia on my back porch. Bowls, glass bong pieces and bowls that were crushed. Like, they had scraped the resin out of it to smoke it. And I don't know
Why are you leaving your bowls out on the back porch where kids can get to them?
if it was the 7-year-olds or the 15-year-olds that come through here. It's about a group of 20 kids that I'm constantly dealing with.
The bottle kids.
And I'm just over it. And it sucks that I can't stay on my property and live in my house because your kids and you have complete disregard for your neighbors. I mean, you never hear anything out of me, and you never will. Like, I'm not loud. Me and my significant
You're fucking super loud. You'll never hear anything out of me. What's all this social media? We haven't heard Brooke shut up in like months.
does not fight. We do not argue or cuss or anything like that, especially in front of our child. Like, especially in front of my child. You know, it sucks.
I wonder how long it would be if you cut out all the dead air and you just left Brooke talking and you took all the videos of her across social media and you put it together. How long would that be? Do you guys think it would be over a year of just her talking straight? I think it might be close. I really do. She streams more than half the day usually. Like more than 12 hours a day. We got like 2 years of content. Yeah, I think it'd be close. And maybe just a year of nonstop fucking yapping.
And I'm over it today. And, you know, I'm really in the position, like, if these two, they're like 7 years old, maybe 8. I think the one little boy is in first grade. So what does that make you, like 7? So, you know, he's out here with another little boy who's around the same age, and they're at home unattended with shorts and short sleeves on, no socks,
Infinity.
in the freezing cold with no parental supervision. Like, what am I supposed to do? I guess just mind my own fucking business, right? I guess that's what I'm gonna do and move very fastly. Have a good day.
You went to jail instead. Well, I guess you didn't go to jail for the breaking the kid's arm, actually. But she took an Alfred plea. She should have went to jail. Should have went to jail.
A stripper, I was making money. But they knew that technically I didn't have any relatives to help me raise
Just your boyfriend and Randy and Dave.
my kids. They knew that. That puts a target on your back. I want to be very clear to other women. You are going to become a target for the Department of Social Services if you do not have any contributing factors in your life and relatives.
Well, then again, how the fuck do crackheads raise kids and not get arrested? Probably mind their own fucking business. I don't know, man. I don't believe it. I don't believe it puts a target on your back.
If you are a single female out here by yourself just trying to make it in the world and you get pregnant and Lord forbid CPS shows up on your doorstep, just know, baby, they showing up, and when they find out that you don't have any family to help you and they find out that you're poor and you can't afford a lawyer to do anything about their bullshit, they will absolutely make you a target for kickbacks.
Maybe if you have like 200 prior charges and the state saw you have a kid just to get out of jail time before, and then you still violated your probation and end up going to jail and losing that kid, maybe that would put a target on your back for sure, because you've proven that you're not a fit fucking parent, which would make you, it should make you hyper vigilant of your actions and not doing anything that might put yourself in the same situation. So why were you doing drugs and shit? Why was your daughter's arm broken?
That's the children that they want. And that's the ones that they go after. And they absolutely receive money for removing every child that they remove out of a house. It's an incentive program. It's not to help children. Listen, I'm not saying that DSS doesn't do good things. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's the first time you've even implied that they do good things.
That they can do what they want, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, if you're a bad parent, yeah.
Unless you have money. You got 70 grand to drop on a federal lawsuit, then maybe you can do something about it. Might take you down 10 years, but yeah. They can do whatever they want, and if you don't have family like I didn't have family, if you don't have good people in your life guiding you in the right direction, and you got a bunch of damn, people with ulterior motives trying to guide you in a different direction, just know it's going to be much harder, much, much harder. DSS, in my opinion, they target women who are single mothers who don't have family to help, and in my opinion, they do it for money, because
I'm looking forward to it when she gets out for covering the Epstein files. I like when me and Brooke can agree on things sometimes, because it gets monotonous just fucking disagreeing with her all the time and having to correct her, and just, I don't know. It's probably not good for my mental health, puts me in a bad mood. So when like she's like, "Grr, I hate this guy," and I'm like, "I hate that guy too for the same reason you do, Brooke. That's crazy." It's like you got to team up with Jazz to go after bigger Jazz kind of situation. So that's cool. I can't wait for it.
every child that they take into the state's custody, they receive money for. And it's a screwed up system. And I know that it sounds like crazy to say that they do this shit intentionally, but it's an evil world. I don't know what to tell you other than it happens every day. I do believe that there's probably thousands of mothers that have been victimized in the same way that me and my children were. Was I perfect? No. As I've said, I made tons of mistakes. Very poor mistakes. Very, very poor mistakes. You know, a lot of wasted time, and I can't take it back. I can't do anything about it. But you know, that's the one reason that I relapsed, was I gave up. I wanted to die, you know, after
You were already doing drugs. See, this kind of shit.
being accused of
Just go after pedophiles together, Brooke. See, I think it'd be good to weaponize Brooke's crazy against bad people. Yeah, go get him. Get him, Brooke. Let's take that 21 bullets inside of that gun shit and go after actual people who deserve it, not just people trying to get a haircut and shit.
Being accused of beating my daughter, it was too much. I had no reason to even strive to be sober anymore. I'd been sober for almost
Take all your rage against DCS or DSS or whoever the fuck took your kids and kill this pedophile.
10 years. I'd been sober since I went to prison in 2009. So I'd been clean for 6 years. And I was proud of myself for that. But, you know, DSS, they want you on drugs. They come looking for problems, honey. So if you're not on drugs, they'll mess with you mentally to try to make you go get back on drugs. Ain't that sad? They're supposed to be helping women help themselves get off drugs. And in my experience, they have done things to point me and guide me back towards drugs. And I'd been clean for, like I said, about 6 years, 2009 to 2016. That's longer than 6 years, Brooke. Anyways, you get the picture. And at that point, I wanted to be done. Like, I wanted to die. I wanted to absolutely die. I lost everything. I lost my daughter, my home, everything. And then I immediately jump into a new abusive relationship with the owner of the strip club. So, you know, you
Dave.
live and you learn, you know, and this is part of the reason I stay away from people, because when all of that went down, I had people that I did not even fucking know lying to CPS, making false allegations against me. People that I've never even met personally.
What? How?
Listen to what I'm telling you. Neighbors of neighbors would tell CPS blatant stories, blatant lies. They would just say whatever they wanted.
Were you blackout drunk or something? You don't remember this going down? Or why? What would be their incentive to do that? That makes no sense.
And then CPS would come to me and say, oh, well, so-and-so's neighbor down the road, uncle's, cousin's, brother's, sister said.
So you didn't do the same thing back? You weren't like, oh, they don't look after their kids. They're a bunch of bottle kids who just run around smoking my bowls and stuff when I go to Miami, and they're USB fighting in my driveway. You don't think she would have done a reverse Uno? And they didn't get in trouble? Okay.
That back in 1992, you did this, and this.
You're an idiot. You would have been 5 years old in 1992.
And, you know, CPS takes that for word. And you know what they do? They go to a judge and they say, oh, well, the neighbor's cousin's brother's sister's uncle's mother's cousin said that she smoked crack back in 92 one time. And
I bet you it was like, yeah, my kid, like, plays with her kid, and her kid's arm is broken for like 2 weeks. When she came over for lemonade, we're like, what's wrong? Like, blatant lies, honey. It's all lies.
the judge says, oh, okay. And you know what they do? They write it in court paper. They say, yeah, she smoked crack back in 92. That's the process
You have smoked crack and meth, and you've done heroin. So what would it matter? They're just gonna drug test you.
of events when it comes to CPS investigations. There is no investigation. It's just whatever somebody says.
Where's the Rob Ford clip? So what if I did smoke crack? You're just jealous, but he wants to do cool stuff with you.
CPS takes it as word. They do an investigation, you know, they find if there's merit or not. And it's crazy. It's just crazy that someone has the power. I guess the cops are the same, you know. The cops can just go into court, and they do all the time. They lie all the time. So, you know, there was a CPS worker that was arrested this week for lying in court documents. Same thing that happened to me. So, you know,
Come on, dude.
maybe there's a change in the weather. Maybe some truth. Maybe some change will come to the Department of Health and Human Services. All I know is that I was not perfect. I have a lot of regrets, but I also had every single card stacked against me. Every single card stacked against me. I did not have one positive possibility or resources in my life at the time that I had my son and my daughter. I just didn't. You know, and for 3.5, almost 4 years, my daughter was with me until CPS stole her and had me locked up for crimes I didn't commit. You know, and once again, let me just...
Stole her. Yeah, okay. Oh, I mean, like, what is wrong with my computer right now? I'm gonna go crazy today. I already am in a fucking crazy mood. You wanna open at any point in time. At any point in time, bro. No? Yeah? We good? Jesus fuck. This was like a 2 sec. It should have been 2 fucking seconds.
Honestly, so what if I did smoke crack? It's none of your, pardon me, it's none of your freaking business in the first place. You're just jealous nobody wants to do stuff like that with you because you're boring. You're lame. Write that down. End of story.
That's right. I'm gonna smash my fucking computer today.
Let's be clear, I never spanked my daughter. Not once. Never. Never even popped her. Never had to. She was such a great kid, man. I mean, it's truly a miracle how she come out the womb just being a little adult, because she was. I don't know if she knew that, and she probably did know that I was under a lot of stress. Kids can sense this shit. But it was just me and her. Her father was in prison. He's back in prison. He was in prison. I don't even know. He went for a habitual for beating the hell out of me. He battered my whole face while I was driving. He went to prison. He got hit with a habitual felon. Hadn't spoke to him since. You know, I found...
Is that true at all? I can probably look that up. I'm wondering. I'm curious.
Found out that I was pregnant with my daughter. He goes to jail. I tried to make contact with his family, and I actually took our daughter over to visit with his father. And that was the one and only time I ever saw this man's family. It was only in 2016 when CPS popped up in my life that I find out that this man's family wants custody of my daughter. I'm sorry, who? So, you know, it's just really weird looking back on the events. You know what I mean? The events, the process. I'm a stripper over here living by myself with my daughter. She falls and breaks her arm. Less than 6 hours later, they already have a foster family who is claiming that they are biologically related to my daughter.
That wouldn't be a foster family then. That would just be the kid going with family. Like if your parents are bad, and let's say like you end up living with your grandparents, that's not a foster family. Is she fucking stupid?
That's not a coincidence. Absolutely not a coincidence.
Yeah, it's a relative.
I'm grateful to these people for taking my daughter, but I'm not grateful for the way that they treated my daughter, nor treated me during the process. You know, it's crazy because there's these people through DSS that are appointed by the court. They're called a guardian ad litem. And in my opinion, these people are evil. They play like devil's advocate. They're like the angel and the devil on the shoulder, and they're supposed to be looking out for the benefit of the child. But what they actually do is they come in and they muddy up the waters, and they tell lies, and they also lie in court documents. So it's like, it's really shitty because, you know, it's human nature to be a shitty person. It's part of, unfortunately, humanity. You know, people are shitty people. They have the free will to be shitty people.
Yeah, a lot of this is actually not lining up, but it's Brooke's story time. Let's hear her out, I guess.
I don't know why it's surprising for the general public to find out that social workers, police officers, and judges can be just as crooked as the next person, you know, as a drug addict out here sucking dick for crack. They can be just as demented. I don't know why that's so hard for people to conceptualize.
What's the incentive of taking Brooke's kids away? I really don't get it. Why? What would they benefit out of that?
When I talk to people about this stuff, they look at me like I'm crazy. And I am, in fact, crazy. But I know what I know, and I know what happened, and I know what is capable of happening. I know how much power these people have, and it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong what they did to my family and all the other families. You know, there's been other women that have commented on this channel talking about how their children were stolen from them, how, you know,
Yeah, more shit moms who can't come to grips with reality that they fucked up.
they didn't have family or money, and you know, it's not right. You know, this social worker saw some, you know, 20-year-old big mouth bitch that was a stripper and, you know, not humble. I'll admit it. I was making good money. I was proud of the fact that I could take care of my daughter and myself. I was proud of the fact that I was paying, you know, upwards of 20 grand a fucking year in childcare. What is
Oh, there is, I was talking about crackheads back in the day raising kids. No, there's like, I don't know about crackheads. There's coke dealers that are raising kids. Single moms. I know personally. So like, I don't know how the fuck Brooke could have lost her kids if she was such a good mom. If she was such a good mom. I know, I wouldn't say they're objectively bad parents, but parents that are involved in bad stuff who have a lot of kids who are getting by and not getting in trouble with the law.
$350 a week? Ain't that like 20 grand a year? It's a lot of damn money in childcare, you guys. And I was proud of that. Maybe a little too proud, you know, and it definitely contributed to my daughter being taken. Because me and the social worker would have words several times. The final time was when I told her she needed to shut up and go die. I never saw my daughter again after that. And that's the power that the state has. You say something that let's say a social worker says something that you don't agree with, and it's a lie, it's a blatant lie. Say a social worker says the sky is green, and you say, I think it's blue, it looks blue, and she keeps saying the sky is green. Well, bitch, you better get on board.
Well, that's what a judge is for. A judge would be like, okay, well, the sky isn't not green, obviously. Right? It doesn't come down to the social worker. The judge has to sign off on whatever.
With the sky being green, or you might not have your kids anymore. 100%.
No.
100%.
It's not right at all, but okay.
You're either going to comply or you're going to say goodbye. And listen, there's certain things in life that people should definitely have to comply with. If it's a drug test and that parent needs to be tested for drugs, absolutely. If it's, you know, a psychological evaluation to make sure that that parent is stable enough to even be in possession of the child, absolutely. There's certain...
Like, the only way I'll believe any of Brooke's bullshit is if her kids, like, come out one day and say, you know what? Yeah, my mom was framed. Twice, somehow. You know what I mean? Like, what? Twice, and everything corresponds with court records and shit. So they just made up a broken arm. They just faked x-rays. Yeah, and she said that before too, that they faked x-rays. And like, what's the son gonna say? They didn't have him to just stay out of jail because he stabbed those two ladies? That was just a coincidence? Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't... Lightning does strike the same place twice, but not with fucking idiots like this.
certain things that I agree with when it comes to the Department of Social Services.
Because there was the, what was it, the Kids for Cash thing in Pennsylvania. And there has been outlier situations where, like, there's a documentary on Netflix. It's like My Worst Roommate, and one of those roommates had, like, their roommate's kid taken from them, or not taken from them, but like they got an order of protection and the mom wasn't allowed to be there, so like the kid somehow got under the other person's care for like a week or something, but it got reversed real quick. Like, crazy things do happen, but Brooke has lost full custody of her kids twice. And take an Alfred, please. So like, I don't believe her.
There's other things I do not agree with, like snatching my child without a warrant, but leading me to believe that you had a warrant. There's sketchy shit that they do, and they have, apparently they can do whatever they want. You know, I would like, they have no legal right to take a child without a warrant, but it is my belief that they did so in my case, and they have in other cases in Alamance County.
I'll even give Heather Gillespie this. At least, like, she does have a crazy group of people who hate her online. I guess Brooke does as well, but Heather was at least on reality television. Like, she has had a larger reach to the general population, I guess you could say. And Dylan Smith is insane. Like, he's a fucking psychopath. So like, there is even like a little bit more truth to Heather Gillespie's bullshit than Brooke's bullshit.
This is actually not only illegal, but you have to get a judge to sign off.
I don't know if Randy's crazy. I don't know if Dave's crazy. Dave seems like a very reasonable man. Just like, I don't know. We got involved with Brooke somehow.
Off on a warrant to take possession of a child, and it has to be, that child has to be in immediate danger. We're talking about this child come into the ER, he's got broken ribs, he's got...
And then both of Brooke's baby daddies are also in jail, so it just seems like she has a shitty taste in men in general.
Got a punctured lung, he's got a damn contusion on his head that looks like blunt force trauma without the death. When we see a child in that state, absolutely, we need a judge, a warrant, fuck a warrant. The kid's got internal bleeding. I understand.
He's got a broken arm?
That's, you know, and actually, you should always have a fucking warrant. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And if they're snatching children, they need...
I don't know. The system's broken. I don't really care about fucking laws anymore. You always follow the law. I don't want to see you guys in jail. But sometimes the law's not going to cut it, you know? So it's up to you if you want to roll those dice. But I'm just so fucking... I don't trust the justice system anymore.
They need to have a warrant. And they need to be...
Like, they don't do enough, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying, like, oh, no, they fucked up and took Brooke's kids. I'm saying they should have taken them way, way, way before, and Brooke should be in jail right now. And that's why I don't like the justice system or believe in it.
Able to prove to a judge and a jury why they feel like this child needs to be taken into safety by the state. But that's not always the case. That's not always the case. We have social workers that jump the gun. They immediately take the kid into custody, and then they later go back and get a judge to sign off on a warrant. This is a very common thing.
When the court countdown ends, she has court. That'll be March 2nd. And then, from my understanding, they'll have another court date set. I don't know when that'll be. And then that's supposed to be, I think that's supposed to be the verdict, like if she's going to be found guilty or innocent and what her sentence will be. And I'm really hoping it's like April at the latest. I don't know how long I can keep this channel up. It's like dying more and more every day. So I really don't know. That's what I'm hoping. It sucks, man. It sucks like looking around on the YouTube fields. I don't even know what to call it. Just looking around on YouTube, and every channel is doing better than me, man. Every fucking channel. There's the Revan Shani channels. Revan Shani have been gone for like a month now, and they're still pulling in like 300 concurrent viewers. Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? You know what I mean? I just feel like a loser. I feel like quitting. And I'm over it. I'm over it. You know, like what Brooke said. I'm over it.
Thing through the Department of Social Services. As a matter of fact, I watched a video the other day of a immigrant couple who they took their child to the hospital. He had something broken
I thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Welcome, Good Little Angels.
Or something, some kind of medical condition.
I did see that Diana Ricky is back, but I'm too scared to see. Is she sober? If she's sober, I'll check in on her.
They wanted a second opinion. She takes the baby to a different hospital for a second opinion, which is what I did in my case. And when
about an arm break? Hold on. I gotta put it back a bit because I am very confused.
Very common thing through the Department of Social Services. As a matter of fact, I watched a video the other day of a immigrant couple.
Oh, okay, never mind.
They took their child to the hospital. He had something broken or some kind of medical condition. They wanted a second opinion.
Why would you? Okay, if your kid's arm is broken, why do you want a second opinion?
She takes the baby to a different hospital for a second opinion, which is what I did in my case.
Oh, so your kid's arm is broken, and they're like, this kid's arm's broken, and you're like, I I don't think so. Let me take her to a different hospital.
And when she gets to the second hospital, she is surrounded by CPS, DSS, police, investigators. There's like 20 people that surround her.
It's just that little bit there. This little bit.
Which is what I did in my case.
Which is what I did in my case. That.
Which is what I did in my case. And for some reason that day, they let her take her baby home. But the following morning, they show up at her residence with like 10 people. There's a video of this on YouTube. I can't think of the lady's name. I'm so sorry. They show up without a warrant, trying to take custody of this baby, stating that the parents had beat the baby. And there was a medical reason for why the baby was injured. This is a very common thing, too, that I've been learning about the Department of Social Services. It's not just the Department of Social Services that is the problem. We also have medical professionals, doctors and nurses who make these assumptions that has led to parents being arrested for shit that they did not do. This is a very...
Look, if I was a doctor and some parent came in with their kid's arm broken, and I'm like, your daughter's arm's broken, we're going to have to put it in a cast, and you're like, I'm going to go get a second opinion, and you left? Yeah, I would be calling the cops, because how do I know you're actually going to take it for a second opinion? And you're just like, I don't know, you don't want CPS involved. They're definitely getting involved now. Are you an idiot?
Very common thing. There's thousands of videos on this on YouTube. It's really scary to think, and I just want you to put yourself in my shoes for a minute. It's really scary to think that you're at work working, and you get a phone call that your daughter's been injured. You rush home. It's her arm. She slipped and fell on an orange rubber bouncy ball.
That switched from yellow to blue, but all right.
And when she went to fall, she put her hand out
I guess yellow and blue make orange. No, they don't. That makes green.
to catch her fall, and it broke her arm.
I know my primary colors.
You take her to a hospital, and before you even get through triage into a room, you have investigators, police officers, and social workers already in your face accusing you of beating your child.
Oh, I gotta put the date back up.
You want a second opinion, so you go to a different hospital, at which time you are also surrounded there by police. I mean, everybody. It was like, I would say 8 to 12 people. They surround you. They separate you from your child. They start interrogating you. At no point are you read Miranda rights or anything like that, because you're not aware that you even have rights, because you...
What do you mean Miranda rights? That's for interrogation. If they're asking you questions, then they have to read you your rights, so you know that you have the right to not answer those questions. But if there's evidence, they don't need to ask you questions. They don't need to read you your rights. You should know this, bro. You've been arrested 200 times.
Done anything wrong. So why do you need to, you don't even believe in corporal punishment when it comes to children. So you don't, you're not doing anything wrong as a parent. So you don't need to know, you don't feel like you need to know your legal fucking rights until they show up and surround you and they start lying and trying to make you out to be somebody that you're not, and they have the power to do that. And that's what they did. And first of all, I want to be clear.
That's funny because she'll say, there's a bunch of other streams where just like, maybe corporal punishment isn't that bad, because if these kids were getting beat on the regular, they wouldn't have shot up the school. And I'll be like, what? But she's like, I never even bopped a kid.
You don't have to talk to them at all. You have the legal right to tell them to go fuck themselves. But if you do that, you might not ever see your children again.
Yeah, like laying hands on a kid at all would be corporal punishment.
It's a catch-22. I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, if they ever show up on my doorstep, da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, I hate to tell you, it's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go, honey. Especially when they show up with cops. Whatever they say is going to go. Whatever they tell you to do is what you're going to do. Or else you're just not going to see your kids again. Simple as that. Simple as that. They can do whatever the fuck they want unless you have money. Now, if you got 10 grand to go hire a damn custody attorney to defend you, you know, dealing with DSS, you might have a chance to tell them to go fuck themselves. But if you're anything like me, poor.
If you're anything like me, hold on 1 second here. Because I swear, when did I take this? You know what? The search thing's pretty smart now. I just search money. Show me the thumbnails. Not thumbnails, but pictures. Where are the pictures at? PDF files, images. 90 images. There we go. If only I had 10 grand, I could get my kids back. If only I had 10 grand. If only. How well, let's see this, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's like 1,000. There's that. This is like almost 10 grand right here. You know? Yeah. So when you do have 10 grand, you're gonna buy a motorcycle, because, get a new bike. Not getting your kids back, but, you know. Hey. I'm just poor. I'm just too poor, you guys. Just too poor. Ay.
With no family to help you, that's going to automatically put a target on your back. You're going to be an easy target because you're already just barely standing on one leg as a single mother. And that makes it so much easier for them.
Yeah, she was flexing. She was like, oh yeah, I had so much money, I was a stripper. My kids were, you know, being treated good. I had a house, 2 bedrooms. No one was helping me except Matt.
Make accusations, to make up lies, to say whatever they want. They can find shit from 10 years ago. There's a video of you on fucking MySpace smoking fucking weed. They'll pull that out and say, oh, well, you smoked weed back in 2009 on MySpace, so you probably still do it in 2029. Like, it's crazy what they can do. It's absolutely crazy.
It's not what they had to do with Brooke. There was way more relevant information and evidence at the time that her kid was taken.
And you don't have any rights unless you have money. I will say that I'm grateful for the people that...
Yeah, it's super cringe, but I'm glad she did it just to show that obviously she had that kind of money. And she has that money from time to time, because, like, that's Brooke. That's how she rolls. She doesn't give a fuck about her kids. It's all just for the grift, just so people feel bad. So other bad parents can give her money and be like, yeah, this happened to me too.
My daughter now, at the time,
Let's just all cope.
I was really angry about it, but now she's in the best place that she could possibly be. A good Christian home with a father who's a preacher. And I do believe that the mother is like a school teacher or something. She does something like that.
She got $13K from peanut butter and jelly. She didn't go get her kids back.
Like community-based work. So she's in a loving home with parents that can financially support her. And they do. And I know that she gets to travel and she's a happy kid. And I'm grateful for that. But it's wrong. When I think about the bigger picture, it's absolutely wrong what happened. The way that she was stolen, the whole situation is wrong. Clearly, I'm not financially able to even take care of myself right now. It was not always this way. It's this way because I got clean. You know, if I was still doing drugs, I wouldn't have money problems. Quite the opposite. I gave up my life of luxury to be sober so that maybe someday when my kids come looking for me, they have something and someone to find. This caffeine.
The homeless lady in a truck who starts fights with everyone and in and out of jail.
It's got me jittery. I feel like the family was gaslit into believing a whole bunch of shit by social workers, and that's what I was gonna say about these guardian ad litems, social workers, those court people that are in there. They all work together against the parent. You would think that DSS would be all for reunification and getting the parent trained.
They are. That's why they're so patient with Heather Gillespie. which is insane to me.
educated, set up with.
It's also their job, though, that if there is abuse happening, to make sure that kid is safe and it not goes back into your custody, especially if you're not proving to the court that you're willing to take any steps necessary to do that. Like, you even admitted yourself, you relapse, you failed all your fucking drug tests, you gave up on your kids. You're like, I'm not gonna pay child support, I don't want custody, I don't want to visit them or anything, I just want to be done with them. So this is all just a bunch of bullshit.
With, you know, programs and stuff to help them be a better parent. You know, you would think that would be the main goal, but that was never my experience. My experience was them simply trying to steal my child, and they did it for over a year before they succeeded. You know, I fought the good fight until there was no fight left to fight. When my attorney stood up in open court and said in front of everybody that my, you know, constitutional rights, my rights, my civil rights, everything was being trampled on, and what the court was doing to me was illegal. When that happened, I knew, I mean, I've never seen an attorney do that.
Yeah, funny. Yeah, that's why I don't believe it. I could see her being like, I can't be a public defender anymore with people like Brooke. Like, I can't defend this person. I'm done. I'm so sick of this planet. That's what it's more likely scenario to me.
I've never seen an attorney in open court on the record state that the entire court system was purposely targeting me and my daughter and that they were breaking the law. That's exactly what my attorney said. It's on the fucking record. You know, I've never seen an attorney do that. First of all, I'll never forget.
Yeah, the judge is just like a YouTube live chat. They just hate Brooke just because, you know, they're just doing anything they can to make her life hell. Yeah, okay.
At the look in that woman's eyes, it really upset her. And I'm so grateful that at least one person at that time saw what was happening to me. At least there's one person that can. There's one person that knows what happened to my daughter was illegal. There's one person at least, you know, and me too, you know, because she quit. She left the court system over that. My attorney, who was representing me for my child custody case, 6 weeks into the case, I don't remember what happened.
What do you mean you don't remember what happened? You should. This is important, right?
But something happened, and she stood up in open court and she told the judge, she said, Your Honor, the social workers have lied in court documents. The social workers have lied on my client. The social workers are setting things up. They are not trying to reunificate the child with my client.
Reunificate. Those are the exact words said in court. They are not trying to reunificate. Holy moly, her intelligence is really showing her.
Her civil rights and constitutional rights are being trampled on. She said so much shit that, I mean, it truly shocked me. And I'm so grateful for that, because that, just her acknowledging what I was going through was illegal and what they were doing to me was blatantly kidnapping.
I wonder if Brooke was like threatening her lawyer, and the lawyer was like, all right, I'm going to pretend to quit because I don't want this woman like hunting me down after anything. So I'm just going to say that she's right or whatever. I'm going to walk out and I'll see you Monday, but I'm not representing Brooke, and she's already tried to kill like 3 people. So I'm not having this.
Her acknowledgement, I needed that for the future. I needed that for today. I needed that for tomorrow. To have an attorney who went to law school for almost a damn decade get up in open court and tell a judge that social workers and guardian ad litems and DSS is blatantly lying in court documents, and they're setting everything up to make it look like I'm a horrible parent, and they're doing this with the intention of stealing my daughter. To have a lawyer say that and then quit and leave that part of the judicial system, it says a lot, and I needed that, because
if that's right, it says they're bad at their fucking job and they can't prove in a court of law what they're saying is factual at all. So I don't believe this, but whatever. It's a fun story.
I I think that if she wouldn't have done that, I would still be like, well, was it illegal? Was I a bad parent? Was I this? Was I that? You know, if that wouldn't have happened, that was a pivotal moment in the entire case, the custody battle. If that wouldn't have happened, I might be on the fence about what type of parent I was. When in all actuality, no, I was not the best parent, but my daughter was fed, she was clothed, she was taken care of, and I was doing the best that I could by myself. And isn't it crazy?
You weren't a bad parent. I was not like I was a good parent, but my daughter was fed and clothed. I don't have anyone to help me except Matt and Randy and Dave.
Crazy how there's always somebody out here that thinks that they can live your life better than you, even though they don't have children.
The jujitsu system, honey.
They're not in your shoes like I was at the time. It's just crazy to me how people always think that they can do a better job at living your life than you can. And they don't even be in the same circumstances.
No, but they can imagine being in the same circumstances, and then they say, well, this is what I would do if I were in these circumstances. And that's why they think they can live your life better. Because I think, honestly, a majority of people could live your life better if they just woke up as Brooke one day. I'd say in a month's time, you'd probably be out of her situation. Maybe less.
It's just crazy. And, this shit is flaking.
Oh, she's going all in about her kids being taken and stuff today. It's actually kind of interesting.
Everywhere. Ooh, I gotta get it off. That lawyer, she left working for the family court system. She quit over my case. They had to appoint me a new attorney. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. My new attorney couldn't keep up with nothing, you know. I'm so grateful to that woman. I wish I could remember her name, because if I could, I'd call her and thank her, even to this day. Because I guess it was the validation, you know, that they were violating my civil rights. Like, you know, they were doing so much illegal shit to me, and I knew it was illegal, but unless you have an attorney that's going to bring this shit up in open court, nothing's going to be done. You know, you can call the supervisor at social services, but the supervisor is not going to give a damn about what you have to say. You're the parent of a child that is under investigation. So you can call social workers boss. It ain't going to produce any good results. It's just going to get you, it's going to make your social worker even madder at you, because then you called their damn boss and now they're pissed, you know? It just causes more problems.
Like, things just don't manifest by themselves. Arms don't get broken magically. Needles don't end up in toys through teleportation. Alright? Whoever saw Brooke do what, or whatever else, I don't know what else was put in here. Drugs don't magically appear in Brooke's body. These are all things that Brooke did, and she can't fucking admit to herself for some reason.
It's really crazy that attorney quit like that. I wish that I could find her.
Cars don't crash themselves.
I might actually, like, try to find her one day. There's a lot of people from my past that I would like to find. My horticulture teacher from prison. I would love to talk to her. Damn, I need to drink these. I wonder if I put these on the back of the truck, if they'll stay cold. I'll probably forget them out there, though. Tortillas. Yeah, my horticulture teacher, that lawyer. Oh, Mr.
Right, yeah, kids don't get removed for no reason. But Brooke's trying to say, like, everyone just lied on me. But there's a bunch of physical evidence to contradict that. Like, the physical evidence wouldn't exist, is what I'm trying to say, basically.
Covington from prison. There's like 2 or 3 people from my past that I would love to see. Teachers. One of them's my horticulture teacher. One of them's a camp counselor from my juvenile days and my prison days when I went to prison back in 2009. And that attorney. Like, literally, I would love to see all of those people and thank them for everything. And also my PO, my last PO. God. She could have locked my ass up, and she didn't. You know, I will say that things have changed. So, let me back up. Back in the day, if you were on probation or parole for a criminal offense and you failed a drug test, you could fail 3 drug tests, but after that third one, what they would do is they activate your sentence. So the way that it works is say you go out here and you get caught pissing in public. Say you got busted, you were urinating. Sorry,
Brooke was busted for urinating in public, so this isn't even a hypothetical.
I'm trying to get this camera up better. Say you were caught urinating in public, right? You've never been in any trouble before. So, God, I look like a lard, y'all. I done put on like 10 pounds.
Oh my god, she keeps going. I really need to pee, so she's not getting to her point fast enough. I'll be right back. I'm listening, but if I'm a little quiet, I'm gonna smoke a bowl too. Just because, like, once I'm away, I'm like, you know what? A bowl would be nice. But be good little angels. I'll be right back. I'm listening.
And I look so much bigger. Say you get caught pissing in public. You ain't never been in no trouble. What the court will do, that's a misdemeanor offense. What they would rather do instead of sending you to jail is put you on probation. They put you on probation probably for a year, and you'll pay money every month. You'll also have to go see a probation officer where you have to check in and you have to show proof of job and or school. You have to be doing one or the other when you're on probation and parole. You're also going to have to piss in a drug test if you're on supervised. If you're on unsupervised, then that's unsupervised, so you won't have to pee in a cup. But if you're on supervised probation, you're going to be taking a drug test. And especially if you're new to probation, the first, I'd say 6 months, they're going to test you like clockwork, honey, to make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Usually, by the end of your probation, those drug tests will lessen and lessen once they know that you're not doing drugs. But if you fail a drug test back in 2008 and back in 2009 when I caught my criminal charges, if you failed a drug test, you went to prison. So that's why I went to prison, was because I'd gotten in a fight with 2 girls at a house party, and we were all drinking and bad. I was 18 years old, stupid as hell. At this point in time in my life, I'd been given unlimited access to drugs. So it was not a good time in my life. I knew I wanted to be clean, but I didn't even know how to conceptualize being clean at that time. I was an 18-year-old child. I was absolutely still a child. I probably had the capacity of a 15-year-old. Absolutely. At 18. Hell, at 25, I probably had the capacity of a 17-year-old, if I'm just being honest. So this is why it's not good to isolate your kids. So it causes them developmental issues, and I absolutely see that in my life. Particularly with my maturity level and when I started to like slowly but surely mature. And I'm still not all the way there, but I'm getting better. But prison, if you failed a drug test at probation, your parole officer would lock you up. Something I've noticed in recent years is they're trying to steer away from locking up people who are in recovery, like people that are struggling with drug addiction. That's going back to like George Floyd. I can look at his criminal record and see that all of his criminal records stem from his drug addiction. We are actually at a good place in probation and parole right now when it comes to offenders who have drug problems. They're learning to separate addiction from criminal activity. And I think that we need to do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that every drug addict who commits a criminal offense should just get a slap on the wrist. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that there needs to be some discretion when dealing with probation and parole. If you have an offender, let's say he's got robbery charges. His whole record is robbery charges. And let's say he also has heroin charges, possession of heroin on his record. You can look at that record and see that he was stealing to support the heroin addiction problem. And let's say he's on parole and he comes in and he fails 2 drug tests. And then he comes back in and he fails that last drug test. Remember, you get 3. He fails that last one. You know, they're getting to where instead of locking him up immediately, they give them an ultimatum. So you're going to go to Black Mountain Rehab Services for 90 days, or else I'm going to activate your sentence. Or, okay, you say that you haven't used any drugs. I'm going to send you to LabCorp to get your blood drawn to see if the levels are coming down. You know, they're a little more lenient, and they use the mitigating circumstances to try to help people who are suffering in addiction. And I think that that's the right move that we need to make. It's crazy how many people are in jail for drug offenses, and they've never even been offered drug rehab. They've never even thought about getting clean until they go to prison, and then they're clean in prison, and then they get out and they go back to damn hustling and bustling for methamphetamine money. Sad life, but you know, in order to help these people, we need to start with educating them on how to help themselves. We have to help them help themselves, and the best place to do that is actually in jail when they're in jail. They definitely, you know, it's a misconception that prisons and jails have these programs set up for inmates. They actually don't. Very few, far and in between, do jails and prisons even have programs at all anymore because they're so short-staffed. And since COVID, everything has changed. I know in the state of North Carolina, Raleigh Women's Prison, just in the 10 years, and it's been how long? 2009? Shit, it's been almost 20 years. 2005. I'm sorry, 2025.
I'm back.
2009. It's been, you know, over 15 years.
I kind of agree with her here. I think if you're a non-violent drug user, and you're caught with drugs or whatever, I don't think, yeah, addiction's hard. There's worse people that should be in jail. Now, I mean, like, there's a gray area too, right? Like, you could be a non-violent alcoholic who just keeps driving their fucking car when you have your license has already been revoked, and you're putting other people's lives at risk just being an idiot. So that's like a gray area where it's like you're not violent, but your addiction is putting other people's lives in harm's way. I think you should probably go to jail. And that's just my opinion. It might be the wrong opinion. But that's what the law is for, is to keep like people who are living life regularly safe, away from psychopaths, right?
A lot has changed. I don't hear good things. I hear that the prison system is the worst that it's ever been. And judging by Robert Brooks's death, I would have to agree with that. But locking these people up over and over, expecting them to get sober without teaching them how to be sober, is insanity. It's absolutely infuriating that we would put people in the position to keep harming themselves. I will say, like I said, probation and parole, I went through a situation where I had relapsed and I couldn't pass a drug test. I couldn't pass. And you know what you know the craziest part? It literally took me almost 2 weeks to get that tar out of my system.
Longer than that? What are you... okay. Well, she was on Suboxone, so that probably... I'm just thinking, like, withdrawals go on. Like, you're dope sick for a while. If you've been doing opiates or opioids for a while, when you get off of it, it's not 2 weeks. It's like months, so... She's probably just talking about... I don't actually know. It definitely wasn't out of her system in 2 weeks.
2 weeks almost. That black tar heroin was no joke, man. No joke. It took me almost 2 weeks from a one-time use to get that black tar out of my system. I kept failing drug tests, and she's like, "Are you sure you haven't been using it?" And I'm like, "No, I've not been using it."
Oh, she means she was testing positive. Well, you were probably still using then.
Swear to God. And I hadn't been. I'd used once. I'd failed a drug test. She had brought me back in 2 weeks later, and I failed it again. And I'm like, how? Like,
will you still test positive, even if you're not using for like weeks after? I didn't even think about that. I know that's what she was talking about.
How? 2 weeks. Listen, I've had marijuana stay in my system for 2 months, so you know, I got.
Yeah, no, marijuana will stay in there. I didn't know heroin was like that, though.
I got the type of metabolism where it takes a lot of time for things to metabolize out of my system when it comes to heroin or...
Withdrawal for me, like, when I started feeling like a normal human again, it's probably like 6 to 8 months. maybe even close to a year. Cause like you just get used to feeling like shit. And for a while you think like this is just life now, and you fucked your life up. Like you should have never done any opiates. But now this is life, and life just sucks. But eventually it does get better, and one day you'll be like, oh my god, I feel like a human again. It's super, super long. Definitely longer than 2 weeks.
Marijuana, it can take weeks. I remember being on probation, and
It's a slow process.
this was 2010 or 11 or maybe 12 or 13. Hell, I don't remember. I was in prison, and all those years I was in prison.
Yeah, like all your muscles hurt, your bones hurt, you're just shitting. Normally you're just shitting because you get constipated when you do opiates, right? So when you just like stop doing them, even if you taper down, right? Because I tapered down, your body just like goes the opposite way, and you're just it's terrible. It's fucking terrible.
It would have been 2013, 2014. I got a DWI, crashed into a McDonald's leaving the strip club in the middle of the night. Almost killed myself. I could have killed other people. Really bad situation, you know. I'm pretty sure I'd.
How long were you doing the pain pills for, though? Because like I was doing them like 3 years. It took like 6 to 8 months for me to feel normalish again.
Had 2 bottles of Patron. 2 bottles of Patron. I think it was Halloween. I could be wrong. I was dressed up so cute, though. I had Sharpie eyebrows, black hair, and a white lace dress.
Yeah, that's why I had to stop stop drinking energy drinks, because I would get like an itch for them. So then I would get like 4. But then I'd go like 2 days after, just with like a really bad migraine. That's not too bad though. Like that, all the caffeine withdrawal shit doesn't last for more than a week for me. It's usually just 3 days. That's why the Mountain Dew quitting has been going successful. I'm actually very surprised with the results. I've been dreaming every time I sleep, which is crazy. So like every night I'm having vivid dreams. There's like this place I keep going back to in my dreams. It's like I don't know really how to describe it. It's like a road. It's like more like a river kind of road, but then there's also like this sewer pipe thing, but you can move the water from one side to the other with like a stick, and then you can skateboard on it. I don't know, it's weird. I didn't know that. I thought this is what I thought would happen. I thought I would feel either exactly the same or worse, and I'd be like, I'll just start drinking Mountain Dew again. But I actually feel like a lot better and different, so I'm glad I'm getting results, because I can't fucking afford that shit.
Anyways, I got a DWI,
$125 a month of Mountain Dew.
and I was on probation. And I would sometimes smoke. And I remember I would smoke once or twice, and then I would start detox and drinking a lot of water. And there were times that just from smoking 1 or 2 times, even 2 or 3 weeks later, I was still felon for marijuana. Like I would go buy the drug test myself. Before I went to probation and parole, I always tested myself before, because I've had false negatives too. I had Mucinex give me a false negative on a drug test one time. That shit was wild. That lady was a bitch too. She was a social worker in Alamance County. There's something about damn Alamance County and social workers and stuff out that way. There's something about that whole area, like, it's not good. Where's my vape?
I think I quit in 2013. So it's been many a years. It's been over a decade. So I'm pretty like solid in my recovery, quote unquote. Like if I found a big bag of pills in my dreams, I'd probably be like, holy fuck, we're gonna be rich. We're going downtown. We're selling every pill, $50 a pop. I'd be like, woo. So that's what I would do if I found a big bag of pill in my dreams.
What the hell, yo? There it is. So, anyways, I was on probation, and I would still fail, like, even, like, 2 or 3 weeks after smoking, and, like, I hadn't even been smoking. I smoked once or twice, and then it would still be in my system. I'm glad I don't have those problems anymore. stressed about, you know.
And then my dream would turn to like Grand Theft Auto. The cops would be chasing after me. I keep looking back in the car. The car just keeps filling up with more and more pills. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go to jail forever. How does this happen?
Dogs out in the snow. Oh, Marie Smith. It took 3 years to get my kids back. I have them
Sell
now.
every pill.
And even had another baby. Oh my God, congratulations. That's so awesome. That is awesome. Congratulations on the new baby. Congratulations. I love that. I really love watching everybody else raise their children. I live through you guys. I see y'all out on the beaches and in the parks, and I live through you guys, you know. And kids are so innocent, y'all. I be down at the parks, and they're so cute. They got their little book bags on, and they're like hiking through the parks because there's a school right next to the park that I go to. And so the school has elementary age kids, and they come over to the park. There'll be a whole class, like 20 of them out there. They're so adorable. They'll have their little hats on.
Why is Brooke looking at kids in parks?
They look like little Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, and Boy Scouts out there, and they'll just wave and wave and wave like, ugh, y'all, it breaks my heart. But, you know, I try not to dwell on everything that's happened because I can't change it. I know that there's a reason that God put me through it.
So you wouldn't do it again, and it happened twice.
Haven't quite figured that out, but
Oh my God.
I can't change it.
No,
I know that it might.
you can't change it now. At least that's the one positive. She's right. She can't change it now. She had the ability to have it never happen to begin with, but I don't know. She didn't learn anything. That's what bugs me. So I don't know what I was supposed to learn.
Might seem like I don't talk about my kids a lot, but it's because I physically cannot. You know what I mean? Like,
You've talked about them for like an hour today.
I physically cannot a lot of the time, especially around the holidays and stuff or their birthdays. It's not that I don't care. It's that I have attachment issues from being neglected as a child. So a lot of it is my own trauma from my childhood, but a lot of it is
She was neglected, or she has helicopter parents, depending on what day it is.
also, I can't sit around and dwell and cry about the past. I can't change it. It's not my fault. I
It is your fault.
contributed. Absolutely. I made very poor choices,
Right.
but it was nothing to warrant having my child taken from me. By far, nothing. Nothing. I did nothing to warrant this.
Okay. Who else in this picture could have made better decisions than you, the adult, in the situation for this to turn out any different? Like, we're almost there. We're almost there. Like, we just gotta bridge that gap, and then she'd be like, oh shit, it is my fault. But like, why are you so hard? It's driving me nuts.
But once again, I did tell a social worker to shut up and die.
No, like helicopter parents, like parents that look over everything you do. Like, they were all up in her business, make her do Fight Club and shit, isolated her, wouldn't let her go outside or whatever, you know. But now they were neglectful. Like, they were just like, whatever, do whatever you want, Brooke.
So apparently, that's grounds to have your child stolen. But I want people to know this, especially young girls that are single parents. I wish somebody would have told me the power that CPS, DSS, the government holds. Nobody ever sat me down and said, hey, bro.
Nah, she gave up the rights to her kids and her visitation and everything. She was like, fuck it.
Brooke, this ain't no fucking joke. These people are dangerous and deadly, and they will do whatever they want, whenever they want. If you're not complicit and compliant, you're going to have to roll over and take it, at least for 60 days. I just wish that somebody would have been there for me and told me the truth. you know, that they can do whatever they want and you have no rights. You have none.
You already found this out when your son was taken. This wasn't like a new thing to you. This is so fucking stupid. I gotta turn off my space heater. I'll be there.
It's a misconception. And I'll be damned if you'll get due process, you know. I'll be damned if you get any kind of due process. It's a screwed up system. I just want to be...
Hold on, like, what the fuck is that? Nobody told me? I just had first-hand experience with it before. But nobody told me.
clear that I love my kids more than anything in this world. It's not that I don't care why I don't talk about them. It's just... it's hard, you know? Life can be very unfair. But that's why I want to talk about these things, because I wish that somebody would have told me at fucking 16, you know, to do things different, to stay away from certain people.
That's crazy. Your mom kidnapped you? It's usually the parents who would kidnap a kid because of some custody battle thing.
To join the military like I was planning, you know, I think about that quite a bit, how different my
I could see Daisy kidnapping, like, her daughter or something.
life would have been. But once again, I had no control in the matter, so it's not like I can dwell on it because I had no control. Yo, it is so pretty.
Hey, listen.
Yo, can somebody call my attorney? Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee out of Greensboro.
Bruce Lee, attorney at law.
Please, can somebody get him on the phone and tell him that they are starting stuff, that they are breaking my rights. Somebody please call Bruce Lee.
At Dylan Keenan super chatted $2. CPS broke my kid's arm. WOOOOO.
Oh, well, thank you, Dylan. Thank you for the tip.
I mean, it's just gorgeous, ain't it? I gotta pee so bad. There's nowhere to pee out here.
Bruce Lee, attorney at law. The shit out of you. I'm sorry, Cindy.
Yeah, no doubt. Social services. Oh, thank you, Carol. Internet hug. Internet hug. I was about to say 7-year-old. Oh, I bet they're adorable, though. Thank you, Mr. Friendly. Yeah, I just, you know, like I said, I am grateful that where my daughter is in a good Christian home. I hope that that doesn't backfire. We see a lot of preachers' kids. I dated a preacher's son. That boy was wild, okay? Wild. He did not care. He did not care about nothing, nobody but himself. And you know the crazy thing is I ran into him. His name was Josh. He worked with me at Sonic. And I think...
Wasn't the Reverend's daughter in The Simpsons was a troublemaker? And she was like, oh, Bart, let's do a bunch of nefarious stuff. And steal money. Steal money from the church. She did that, remember? And it was under her bed. They thought it was going to be under Bart's bed or some shit. I'm vaguely... I might be remembering the episode wrong. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
he was probably like my first like official boyfriend because I was like 15, and my parents let me go on a few dates with him. And he was a really sweet guy, but he was wild. He was a preacher's son. And I ran into him probably like 3 years ago at a Merchant's Tire. I think that's a Merchant's. Anyways, it was in Greensboro, and I hadn't seen him in like 20 years, and I ran into him, and he looked so healthy and good, and, you know, he looked like a happy guy now or whatever, and that was crazy. Why am I talking about this boy? Oh, because he was a preacher's son, honey, and he was wild. He was wild. I just hope that my daughter doesn't grow up to go to the opposite end of the spectrum, you know? I don't want her burning the candles at both ends. I want her to be smart and intelligent and focused. I do know that these people financially can probably afford more opportunities for her in the future when it comes to college and stuff. And I want her to go to college. I want both of my kids to go to college. I would love that for them. You know, those are opportunities that I never got. You know, my parents were not financially stable enough to take care of us, much less afford to put us through school. And matter of fact, I was talking about this the other day when I was picking out my college classes at 16, because I graduated at 16. Not because I was smart, but because I was in a juvenile youth development center. I was in
There you go.
a training school. I was in a
Kidnapped, but somehow in a juvenile detention learning center at the same time.
child jail for children. That's why I graduated at 16. And they gave me a scholarship and stuff. And when I was picking out my classes, I remember asking my mom what I could do with a communications degree, and she had no idea. You know,
Why would you assume she would? What the fuck? So you already had the degree? Or no, she wanted to get the degree? Dude, look it up yourself. The internet was around. When Brooke was 16, the internet was around. The internet was thriving when I was 16. Alright, yeah, even when I was 13. Which is when Brooke was 16.
when you are raised by people my parents weren't stupid people,
Apparently they were.
but they also were not college educated or even high school educated. My mother would go on to make a name for herself in law. She did not graduate high school. She had her first child at 16, then she had me at 18, then she had another one at 20. You know, she didn't graduate high school. She had a rough childhood. My mother grew up in and out of foster care and foster homes just like me. I don't know why. This is some of the family secrets that I've been dying to find out about that nobody wants to spill. And there's only one person that can spill them, my aunt. She's like 70-something years old, and she's getting up there. It's my great aunt.
She's not telling you shit. She just like, you'll just spew it all over the internet.
She's literally the only surviving family member that I have other than my siblings who are out of state and we don't communicate. So we did last year, and then, I don't know. I've been on some new shit. So, you know,
Ugh, gotta
I've been on
open
some
my
new shit.
fucking doc.
But I would love for her to tell me, you know, about my mother's past, about my grandmother's past, about how they were raised. There's so many family secrets that I want to know, and I can tell that my family wants to bury them, but that's part of the reason that I don't talk to my aunt a lot. It's because it feels like a fake relationship at times, you know, and I don't like that.
Holy fuck.
I feel like in order to have a true connection with somebody, you have to be honest about everything, even the good, the bad, the ugly, the dirty, the disappointing, you know, the destructive. Like, you've got to be honest about everything to have.
My fucking thing. My thing is glitching because I had to get my fucking not the auto moderation, the stupid moderation thing open because it wasn't open. Share Bear, you've never commented on this channel ever in your life. What makes you think it's okay to come in and say Jesus paid for the cross? If you guys want me to not think Christianity's a fucking cult, stop doing shit like this. Stop it. Stop. I'm fucking sick of it. I'm so fucking sick of it. Oh, stop it.
Have a stable, healthy
There's like fucking a nutbag every day who comes in and does this shit.
relationship. My family lied and hid everything my whole childhood. You know, they were very secretive people. And it wasn't like they were doing anything bad. It wasn't like my parents smoked crack or anything like that. Like, I never saw my parents do drugs. My mother, you know, worked in law. She was a paralegal assistant or whatever for a law firm. And she loved her work, and she was good at her work, and she made something from nothing. To be a teenage mother with 3 children, and then to go on to work in a law office with not even a high school diploma says a lot about her will and her determination and her ethic, you know, her worth ethic. My dad, he worked in construction, and by all...
No, it makes me really hate religion in general. So that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, guy. You're gonna turn me into a fucking atheist, a mad atheist who is like pushes back against religion every fucking day. I'm usually pretty cool with religious people. I think everyone's allowed to believe in whatever they want. But if you want to come over here and push that shit every fucking day, see, like I have to delete shit like that all the time. And today it's making my computer go slow. So I'm gonna talk about it today because it's pissing me the fuck off. All right. You're representing your whole religion when you do that, and you're not doing anyone any good, so fuck off. Fuck off.
All accounts, we could have been living in $1 million house if he would have just been not a dick. He comes from a multi-billion-dollar concrete company, and
I think that's a lie too.
he was a rich kid
The concrete company is like a whole different name. It's like a similar name, but it's different than your stepdad's name.
that had more opportunities than I've ever had. And pretty much he liked heroin and he liked drugs and he wanted to do what he wanted to do. And he went out at damn 16 years old and got himself a damn drug problem. And he somehow managed to get clean and he met my mother. And he was never okay with his family. Like, they had all this money, but they were the weirdest people when it came to, like, personal relationships and these interpersonal relationships. They were very surface level, and it wasn't like the normal family where you go for Thanksgiving or Christmas and everybody's so happy to see each other. There was always this awkwardness there, and I know that it's because my mother was poor and his family didn't care for her or us, really. They acted like they liked us, but you could tell that they didn't. You could tell that these rich people were not happy that my dad married my mother, who was poor and a single mom of 2 kids. So it was a weird dynamic in the home, and it was never... there was always this feeling of like being outcasted, like you knew you were the black sheep of the family, and there was always this feeling of that, like you were different than the rest of the family. And I almost wonder how much of that was intentional looking back on my childhood. Like, were they really out here, these adults who were supposed to be my new family, were they really out here trying to make children feel like pieces of shit? I mean, it feels like it, which is really sad, but rich people, that...
Maybe Brooke's confidence was too high. I don't know. Brooke seems like a piece of work.
Level of rich, I don't know. I don't know if they're bored. I don't know if they're just evil. I don't know. But there's a certain level of rich that I've seen in my childhood that was just blatantly evil. And, even the kids, they knew they were rich, and they would say stuff and, do things to remind you that you were poor and they were rich. And I mean, it's just really sad to think about going to Christmas dinner and being bullied. But, that was the vibe. That was the feeling that I always got when I was over there at my dad's side of the family, and like I said, if he would have just not done drugs and behaved and been respectful, his family, he worked for them. We shouldn't have had to worry about anything. But he messed it up,
I think it was because of snow, Cindy.
He didn't know how to have relationships. I remember asking my mom one time why my dad wasn't a dad to me, and she told me it was because his dad wasn't a dad to him. And I remember even being young, that made no freaking sense to me. If your father is not a father to you, wouldn't that motivate you to be a father to your children even more? Or am I crazy? Because
Well, I think the theory is they don't know how to be a father because they didn't have one, right? That's the thing. The thought process behind it.
feel like if I grow up with my dad not acting like my dad, it would motivate me to be a better dad. But, maybe I'm crazy because it just doesn't make any sense why. And I was thinking about this last night. Growing up, I always wished that my mother would divorce my stepfather. Anytime they would argue or talk about divorce, I would get really excited and was looking forward to them potentially getting a divorce. Like, I wanted them to get a divorce because it was so toxic and violent all the time, and the whole house just ran on fear.
Yeah, I remember there was one time that my dad, I don't know, we were in the garage or something. I don't know if was I just in the garage, or was he like, come in the garage with me? Anyways, he was like, I think me and your stepmom might be getting a divorce. And well, they were never married. Then we might be breaking up. And I was just like, cool. Let me know how that goes. It never happened. Never happened.
There was no like I said, I couldn't like joke with my parents and laugh with them, and like it was
That was when she finally got into the I think I told you guys this before. She would always try to get into the bank. Like, she would call the bank and be like, I want into the account to know what's going on in there. And they're like, this isn't your account. So no, we're not letting you in there. She got in online somehow one time. And she came to the conclusion that my dad was a cokehead. Which is just hilarious to me. My dad's not cool enough to be a cokehead. So she was going to break up with him. She's like a fucking... a waitress with no license and fucking 2 fucking failure kids. So like, I don't know what she was thinking, but my dad was like worried about it and stuff, but I guess she got over it. I really wish they had just broken up too, but whatever. C'est la vie.
Wasn't the type of home where, y'all know, like the families that be on TikTok dancing together and stuff. I do like those videos when you got the mother and the father and like all the little kids and they're all doing the same little dance. My home was never like that, ever. I can't think of one moment in my childhood that was kind of had that feel. You know what I mean? Like the wholeness and the family unit. I can't remember ever feeling like that, not once. Like, I don't know, like the closeness, you know? Like there was none of that. It was all fear and demand, you know? It was fear and demand. They were very bossy.
My crazy life. Learning out my parents' bullshit. I mean, I don't know. I don't really give a fuck about those parents. The reason she thought he was a cokehead was because he like, he would buy, he would buy 2 2-4s, like 2 cases of beer, 24 cases of beer one day, and then the next day he'd buy 1 case, and then the other day he'd buy 2 cases. So he was drinking like a case. He was drinking like half a case himself a day, but then he was also buying a case for the neighbor, and the neighbor would drink a whole case a day. So he was like supporting the neighbor's alcohol habits and his alcohol habits. And my stepmom came to the conclusion that my dad was a cokehead because he was spending all that money on beer, which is a crazy amount of money to spend on beer if you think about it. But he like makes, I think, over $100K a year, so like he can afford it. She just didn't like it. Oh, and he kept doing these fucking auctions. So he would go to like hockey games, and there would be a silent auction for like, I don't know, a picture of a hockey thing, like a guy scoring a goal, and then there would be like, you know how a silent auction works, right? Like you bid, but you don't see anyone else's bid. He kept winning these stupid silent auctions, even though he didn't want to win them. He just wanted to seem cool, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bid on this, but I'm not gonna win. So he kept wasting his money on that, and he had all these pictures in his office at work, and he was trying to sell them on eBay. So she was like, this is obviously a cocaine habit. Fuck, man, that was a wild time.
You know, like, they were very demanding and bossy.
Oh no, my stepmom used to be a cokehead. It was like projection. That's why she thought that.
I've said this before. The only time that
My dad's just terrible with his money, that's all.
my stepdad ever talked to me was when he was bitching at me about something that I had done, or he was bitching at me to go do something he needed me to do, aka iron his shirts, wash
No, my dad's an idiot. I don't even talk to my dad.
the dishes, clean the room, like, you know. That's the only interaction me and my stepdad ever had together. We never had one conversation.
Because there was no, like, there was no, what do you call it, transactions at, like, the beer store or at, like, the Air Canada Center or anything. He would just pull out cash, right? And then he would pay for the beer in cash, because he'd give, like, the change to the bums sitting outside asking for beer. My dad he loves alcohol, all right? He wants everyone who's an alcoholic to be able to drink alcohol. So he's just like giving his cash out to alcoholics, and like there's I don't know, whatever money he was spending at the silent auction after. I don't know how the silent auction actually gets the money after, actually. But a big majority of it was just because, well, he was taking money out of the ATM too much. So she was like, oh, you're doing drugs.
Take that back. I take that back. We had one conversation after my daughter was born, and I was going to get my tubes tied, and he said, you'll regret that. So I didn't get my tubes tied. You know what I regret now? Not getting my tubes tied. I should have just done it. They was going to pay for it. And my dad comes in and he's holding my new daughter, and they're about to take me back to do this, tie my tubes. And my dad said, you might meet somebody, you might meet a guy. And I said, well, I'm not really looking, to do that. Do I have another zit coming up? I do. Y'all, I got one there, one there, one there. Jesus, I got another one coming up. My dad said, don't tie your tubes, you'll regret it. You might meet a guy someday and he might want kids.
Yeah, I don't think Brooke needs more kids.
The irony. I can't even meet a guy, much less a guy that wants kids. You know what I mean? I don't even know where to meet people anymore.
You don't need kids.
I'm in the woods all the time. Y'all, look at how pretty this is again. I am in North Carolina, Carol. And it's absolutely gorgeous. It's been snowing. They built this boat launch place about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. You're supposed to be able to take your boat down there and launch it. I've never seen anybody use the boat launch, though. Yeah, it was,
I don't think I can have kids in this world. After seeing how fucked up it is. Because, like, kids don't listen. They don't listen to you. Like Michael Jordan said, you don't listen when me or your parents tell you not to do drugs. But, like, for real, I remember being a kid, not listening. Being like, parents don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And every one of my peers thought the same. So, and I would just sound crazy. I'd be like, you don't understand. There's insane people running this world and they'll eat you. And like, okay, Dad. Yeah, sure. I'm not doing it. I'm no fucking interested in it anymore.
I don't know why I was thinking about that last night, but it was.
Too old anyways. I'm like 36 now.
The home was ran on fear and chaos. And I always wish that my
Michael Jordan's a touchy subject. What? Was he found in the files? No. Hold on. We're going to go to Jmail and check it out.
mother would divorce my stepfather because I felt like we would be free. I felt like we would be able to laugh and play and joke, and we were never allowed to do that, and it really sucks. Like, one of the few things I can remember that my dad used to do was he would do that weird thing that I do now where I change the words to songs. That's literally one of the few things I can even think about that he did in a playful manner. So I guess he had one funny thing he did for 20 years, and it was switch the words to different songs to make them funnier. So, it's kind of sad that I can't say, oh, we did go on a lot of trips. We did go on a lot of trips. It's sad that I can't say, oh my God, we had this great trip in Wilmington and it was so funny and da 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 da. I don't have any of those.
He got caught? It was ice? Not Jordan's fault? What are you talking about? What happened with Michael Jordan? I don't see Michael Jordan in the Epstein files. I see Air Jordan. I see Ken Jordan. I see Michael Glidden. Why is that? Oh, because I searched Michael. What about just like petty quotes? Michael Jordan. Oh, that's not, I don't see anything. So, what happened? I'll just Google it, I guess.
It was from my childhood. Not one. Not one.
Michael Jordan.
I don't have a funny story, a lighthearted, wholesome story. I don't have one story like that.
Interaction with Tyler Reddick's son? The fuck is Tyler Reddick?
And that really sucks. I mean, it's a surprise that I'm not a psychopath, if I'm being honest, because the way that I was raised in isolation with no social skills, not being taught anything, being raised in a highly abusive, toxic, fear home. Like, it's a miracle that I'm not an actual psychopath or a narcissist. I don't know. Am I a narcissist? I think if you ask yourself if you're a narcissist, that means you're not a narcissist, because a narcissist would never question if they were a narcissist.
That's what I've heard.
Does that make sense?
Unless, like, you're somewhat self-aware and you're trying to mask your narcissism, so you have to kind of come to grips with the reality of it first. I don't know. Maybe that wouldn't be narcissism, though. Maybe that'd be more like a sociopath or something.
And I don't know if that's true. I mean, for all I know, I'm a full-blown psychopath. But I do think that if you question whether or not you're a psychopath, you're not a psychopath. But don't take my word for it. I'm not a DSM-5. Yeah, I don't have funny stories. You know how like parents will play horseplay with their children. You know, for instance, I dated a guy and he had 2 children, and the dynamic of their family being part of their family for almost 2 years, it was crazy to see the difference in dynamics in households. The way that he would play and joke with his kids was something that I had never seen a father do in my house. You know, I had only seen fathers be disciplinaries
What the fuck?
towards me. You know what I mean? Like, that had been my experience with a father figure.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to disown Michael Jordan. That's Michael Jordan? I don't even want to show it. Should I show it? I found it. The fuck is that? What is he doing?
So to see this man raising these 2 children with a complete different dynamic than I had ever experienced, it really opened my eyes up to how bad the abuse was when I was a child.
I'll show it just so you guys know why I'm not liking Michael Jordan right now. I don't know how you can explain this as like, I don't know. I don't even know what it would be explained away as. Hold on 1 second. I had to reopen the tab. I closed it. So I was like, anyways, it's here. Let me get the border off. Boom, 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 boom. So that's Michael Jordan apparently. Doesn't even look like Michael Jordan to me. But that's what they're saying. Interesting celebration choice by Michael Jordan after winning the Daytona 500. And then there's this kid here. So like trigger warning, I guess. If you don't want to see some weird fucking shit, look away. This is on Twitter and this is on like TMZ. So he's like grabbing his ass. Like what the fuck is that? The fuck is that? So that, I'll get rid of the Michael Jordan soundbite. We'll never do the Space Jam video. What the fuck, dude? See, more shit like this every fucking day.
I never had
Tired.
my parents pick and play and horse
Tired of
play,
this
and
world, man.
They weren't touchy-lovey, huggy people. You know, they were very distant, cold, and angry all the time. Both of them. I mean, they were just angry fucking people. No wonder I'm so damn angry. I grew up in that damn house.
Watch the kids list. I'm not watching it again. That's just, it's like, I don't know how you could even explain that. It's not, see the ice fall? What? Why was there ice?
Once again, it's a miracle I'm not a complete evil bastard. Like, because they were borderline Ed Geenan it, you know? They were borderline Ed Geenan its parents, okay? They were.
I don't care what the fuck is on his ass. Why is he even looking at the kid's ass? You don't touch another kid's ass. Like, what the? I shouldn't even have to say that. You know what I mean? What, this is fucking insane.
We're right up there with, I think her name was Roberta Gein. Ed Gein, you know, the man that killed all them people.
I'm done with this, something looks sus. Let's explain it away. Look how much fucking crazy conspiracy theories turned out to be true. I'm so overlooking sus shit. Michael Jordan is done to me. I fucking hate him. Whatever.
Turn their bodies into lampshades and nipple belts. Remember nipple belts? I mean, it's truly a miracle that I didn't end up like him. And I'm grateful that my kids are in a safe place. They're both in Christian homes. with people that are financially and mentally stable. You know, my son, that's a whole different story. My son, I had to sign over when I went to prison in 2009, and honestly,
Right, see? And see, that was for the stabbing. Hold on, I'm just going to, because my computer's being kind of bad today. I think it's my internet. Let me just turn off this variation really quick here. Where is it? There we go. Okay, save. I don't want to hear Michael Jordan's stupid voice anymore. So she had the kid, I'm pretty sure, to stay out of jail because they'll be like, oh, you're a parent, like you have responsibilities, you're passing all your drug tests, you're turning over a new leaf. But she kept failing her drug tests and she ended up going to jail. So let's see what she says happened.
that was by far the best decision because I did not know how to raise a child. I didn't even know how to raise myself at that point. I don't remember, I don't remember a good portion of that time in my life. I don't remember it. It's missing holes. Half of my pregnancy is just holes missing. That was a very traumatic time in my life. And, that's when I was being held hostage, essentially, by my abuser. And I also was with the father of my son, who I loved tremendously.
How could you be being held hostage and also, so like he was being held hostage too? Was he one of the kidnappers, him and Randy? What are you talking about right now?
It was like the love, and so I was in an abusive situation, getting sexually abused by this man, wanting to be with the love of my life. And y'all, I was still
Like Rapunzel?
psychologically probably 15 years old. I had no clue what I was doing, and I had no one to help me, guide me.
You were in your 20s. This is such a stupid story.
Or tell me how to live my life. Like, I literally had no one to help me. It's really sad when I think about it because there was plenty of people around me that could have guided me in the right direction. Or
Yeah, see, there's I saw, it was just a title, but it was on one of the body cam channels. It's like a OnlyFans model. I don't know what you call him. I guess a model. Let her kid just like almost starve to death in a room where her sibling was dead already. It's like, what the fuck is happening right now? What's going on?
or simply told me how to be a parent. I know that that's not like something you can just like write down and leave it on a post-it note on somebody's fridge. It's not like,
Midwest Safety, the best cop channel.
but you can guide people in certain ways. You can say, hey, Brooke, you need to get a house if you're going to have a baby. Hey, Brooke.
I think that's common sense. Is that not common sense? It's the fucking Heather Gillespie logic.
You might want to, leave that abuser for good if you're going to have a baby. Hey, Brooke,
I thought you were kidnapped. Also, you still haven't left him because you were just there for a week watching movies, drinking alcohol. And, I don't know, maybe other stuff.
You're going to need formula and diapers and da-da-da-da. Nobody was there for me. Nobody, at this point, my mother was dead and nobody was there for me. And all of the people that were supposed to be there for me, that's supposed to be my family and friends, they actually turned their back on me and gave me the tools that I needed to fail. And when I got sentenced to prison in 2009, I made the decision to allow my son, I begged my son's grandmother to take him because I did not want him getting lost in the foster care system like I did.
I thought you just said that they... Oh, wait, no, that was the daughter. I already had a family picked out, but it was actually, like, relatives. For the oh, that sound's back. The fuck is that sound?
So she graciously took him and has taken care of him, very good care of him for his life. And I'm grateful for that. So grateful. I'm very grateful that both of my children are in a safe home, that are stable, and clearly both are very happy. I'm not saying that not being with me doesn't cause them problems. I'm sure that it has, and it will continue to. But we can't go back. I can't go back and change anything. I can't go back and be born rich. I can't go back and be born, financially stable.
Honestly, thank God Brooke didn't have more money, because she probably would have OD'd or something, or just been way worse. Like, look at Daisy had a fuck ton of money, right? And she left her kids alone in a trailer. Even though she had a mansion, she had this like trailer that she would leave the kids in, no babysitter, because the babysitters apparently she was freaking out on, because she'd come home from escorting high on coke and drunk. This is all Daisy's words too. So she was like, I can't have a babysitter anymore. I'm just gonna leave him alone in a trailer. So when she got arrested for prostitution, she was like, you can't arrest me. My kids are home alone in a trailer. And they're like, what? And that's when Daisy's kids were taken. So yeah, no, I think things would have been actually worse if Brooke was rich. It wouldn't change the fact that she's a fucking drug addict and a terrible human being.
With, I can't go back and be born with a bachelor's in fucking early childhood development to know what I'm supposed to do as a mother. I can't go back and change anything. But what I can do is ensure that they are safe and in a home that has the same belief system that I have. And I'm grateful for that. Super grateful for that. And honestly, I would love to see my children, but I don't know if that would be good for them. You know what I mean?
Probably
and
not.
So, if I'm just being honest, I've made zero effort to try to do so, because I feel like they're better off.
This is packed with a bunch of crazy information, this stream. I'm gonna bookmark it, and I like that. I like what she just said. I've made zero effort.
If that would be good for them. You know what I mean? And so, if I'm just being honest, I've made zero effort to try to do so, because I feel like they're better off not having disruption to their daily lives.
Okay, so then how can you still bitch about them not being in your life and stuff if you've made zero effort to try to get them back?
It would be better for them not to have disruption. That's all I'm saying. Bringing me into their lives at this point might be detrimental.
Yeah, there's someone in Canada who stabbed their 2 kids, and they just let her out. They're fucking homeless too.
Detrimental to them more than beneficial, especially my son at his age, because he's a teenager. I just don't know if that would be a good idea, if it would be good for them, to see me, because I'm not financially stable and I'm not in the best spot in my life. But I just want to be honest that I have not tried to contact them. Number one, my daughter, I don't know if I'm allowed to contact her. Number two.
Okay, Clockwork Tangerine, you tell me everything I need to know then. Make a fucking Google Doc and do it. You just come in multiple streams saying the same shit. Fuck off. Suck my fucking dick. If you're not going to actually do something about it, make your own channel. Do your own Brooke documentary. Fucking you. Oh my God. Fuck off.
I'm pretty sure that her foster family does not want her to have contact with me.
I'll be so happy when I never have to do Brooke again in my life. Like, fucking so sick of people.
So, it's one of those things where I'm just going to have to wait and hope that I get my shit together eventually one day. And that if she does come and find me, there's something good for her to find,
There won't be.
I can't change yesterday. I can't go back to the past. All I can focus on is who I am today, who I'm going to be tomorrow, so that if they do come looking for me, there's somebody good for them to find. I wish that I could say that their fathers were in the picture. My son has his father in the picture, thank God. But my daughter does not. Her father you know, he beat the hell out of me and went to prison for that. He got hit with a habitual sentence, which is like 13 years in prison, but he ended up doing like, I think like 7 years, something like that. Within 2 months of getting out of prison, he was stopped on Highway 87 and busted with methamphetamines. So you would think after doing almost damn a decade in prison, the last thing that would be on your mind would be drugs.
When I walk into the airport diner in Madison, North Carolina, everything fucking stops. Everybody's gonna look. It's crazy.
At Issa3712 super chatted $5. I appreciate you.
No, thanks, Issa. Thank you for the 5.
When you get out of prison, but what do I know? I mean, it's a damn shame, you know, because this is his family, so he should be able to see our daughter. But instead, he's out here looking for crystal meth out on Highway 87 in Graham, North Carolina. Like, it makes me sick. You know, people have opportunities that I don't have, and then they shit on them. The people that adopted my daughter was her biological father's cousins. So it was a man and a woman who was a preacher and his wife. And I think she's a school teacher, but I could be wrong. Anyways, this was the father's family. The father's family. And I read somewhere in a document that they have, since he was arrested for methamphetamines, they have banned him from having any contact with my daughter. So
I mean, this is really filling out the family tree, so we can kind of, I'm not saying I'm trying to find the foster parents or anything like that, but just to verify if what she's saying is true and the father's up to now, I guess that might make sense why people were like, no, they didn't get adopted it's with family. But so it's technically both is right, like they did get adopted out. That's why it's called like a foster. That's why they're the foster family, because they're cousins. They're not like direct relatives. Does that make sense? That big stupid fight that made Reddy go after me.
So I can see them making the right moves, and I'm glad that they're doing that because they're making the right moves. When I read that in a court document. I read that my daughter's foster family had
Smoking Blondie. Yeah, I have very little patience today.
And her biological father from visiting with her. And thank God, I already didn't want her around him. He's not right in the head. He is a sexual pervert, and it concerns me. When we were dating, he would get missing for hours, and I'm like, where is this boy at? And I would find him in the bathroom. He
that was jacking it all the time.
Masturbated.
Oh no.
3, 4, 5 hours a day. I wish that
That's pretty crazy.
I was joking. I wish I was joking. This boy has a sexual perversion that I had no clue about before I started dating him. First of all, it was a dumbass relationship that I should have never been in. I had gotten out of prison. Me and my girlfriend, Amanda. Love you, Mandy.
Amanda? Thank God we have a name. Okay, so that will really help me, actually, figure out who the fuck Brooke's girlfriend was. Amanda. The girlfriend's name is Amanda. Did we already know that?
We were living together in a house, and we met on the internet. It was so stupid. I met him on some dating site. It went really fast. It snowballed, and then the snowball exploded, caught on fire, and the next thing I know, I'm getting my ass beat going down the highway while I'm pregnant, and he's drunk, and it was crazy. You know, I look back on times like that, and my self-esteem was so low.
Oh yeah, no, I do go crazy. I went crazy today. Team Heather go crazy.
I just it makes me sad for young Brooke. It makes me sad for 25-year-old dumb Brooke, because me being a grown woman now, almost 40 years old, I would never even talk to him.
Why did you? Why did you leave the, like, apparently when she was with that woman, Amanda, that was the best relationship she ever had. So you left her to be with this crazy guy you met on Plenty of Fish or something?
But I was so desperate back then. Just desperate, honey. Desperate. Zero standards, zero self-respect. Treat me any old way. It doesn't matter as long as you just stay, you know? Like, I look back and I'm just like, I was so stupid. Like, so stupid. And I wasn't perfect. You know, we did a lot of drinking. Too much drinking. You know, he's a severe alcoholic. When I mean severe, I mean severe. He can have one sip of alcohol, and the next thing you know, it's 3 days later, he's done totaled his car, he's in jail, and he killed somebody.
What? Of a sip of alcohol 3 days prior?
It is that severe. He has a sip of alcohol, and it's like a switch goes off, and he becomes this just demonic fucking evil ass person. At one sip, and it's the flick of a switch, honey. I don't know if y'all ever met any real alcoholics like that, but like, and it's not necessarily somebody that's suffering in alcoholism. It's somebody that simply drinks alcohol and they have a flip.
I mean, I've met people who just shouldn't be in relationships with each other, and I wouldn't even say it's the alcohol necessarily, but it's like when they're drunk, the problems of the relationship just like shine through, especially to people on the outside. You can really see like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I just know people do, like, they freak out on each other because when they're sober, they just don't really speak their mind, and they just kind of let like things fester, and then they get drunk, and then they're screaming at each other in a bar while everyone else is like on the other side being like, what the fuck is happening right now? So, but you if you have them separate, each of them separate, and they're drunk and they're just chilling like in the friend group, like, they're fine. So I don't know if it's alcohol. It might just be like, you guys got to get out of that relationship. That's a really bad relationship.
Okay? They go from being the sweetest, kindest, most giving person that you ever met to the biggest psychopath, murderous.
And I don't even like alcohol, so I'm not even trying to make a a case for why alcohol is cool or anything. It's just, I think some people, they just really let everything out when they're drunk.
Crazy person. And all they did was drink a beer. They drank a beer. Their eyes glaze over. Their soul leaves. I mean, he turned demonic. When I say his eyes changed, he would... It's almost like his soul had left his body. I wasn't perfect. We weren't perfect. It was a surface level relationship. He cheated on me.
How did you guys end up having a kid then?
I don't think I ever dated somebody that didn't cheat on me. I dated that one guy that had kids. He didn't cheat on me, to my knowledge. But he was also probably one of the normalest people that I ever dated, too.
I thought that was Dave. There was another guy she dated with who had kids? Because she said Dave cheated on her with all the strippers, so that couldn't be Dave.
But yeah, it was a volatile, crazy relationship. Absolutely crazy. I don't know what we were arguing about that night, but we were going down the highway. I was in my Nissan Altima, and he had a bottle of liquor. I'll never forget. I didn't even know he had been drinking. He wanted me to come pick him up. I picked him up. We started arguing on the highway, and all I remember is getting hit in the face like 4 or 5 fucking times. He's in the passenger seat. I'm driving, and all of a sudden, I just feel wham, 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 wham. Like he's like two-piecing me in the face as I'm driving down the road. And he might have hit me more than that. I don't remember. I just remember getting hit like a grown-ass motherfucking man, okay? He hit me so hard, my head spun. I remember locking the brakes up, like literally locking them up, okay? Pulling off the side of the highway. We're arguing. I remember calling the law. I remember the cops getting there. Oh, he wouldn't get out of my car. He wouldn't get out of my car. At this point, I still don't realize he's drunk. Like,
How would you not know?
that's the difference between maturity and not mature. Like, now I'd be able to recognize that he was drunk. Back then, I was so young, I didn't even pick up on the signs that he was drunk. It was only when the cops got there, he wouldn't get out of my car. So I had actually got out the car and started walking down the highway to try to get away from him. The cop pulls up, picks me up. I explain the situation to the cop. No, I do not regret calling the cops on him. Not at all. I would later find out that he had multiple other assaults on females that I had no clue about, that he lied about. So anyways, the cop pulls him out of my car. I'll never forget this. And the cop goes to search him. And the cop lifts up his shirt. And when he did, he had a bottle of liquor pushed down in his pants.
Brooke is like just oblivious to everything then, apparently.
My injuries were so bad, I didn't even need to show up for court. They took pictures, they took my statement, and they locked his ass up. He literally almost knocked my teeth down my throat. My eyes were black. My nose was bloodied. It was pretty bad, you know. And once again, I was driving, so we could have died, you know. I don't remember what antagonized him to the point he felt like he had to lay hands on me, but it wasn't the first time, and nor would it be the last time.
You guys are probably just talking shit to each other, man.
It's just who he is, you know. And some people, they go through life behaving like that and they never change. And unfortunately, I would like to say that I hope that
Hid alcohol in the laundry basket?
he changed, but it looks like he's doing the same shit that he was doing prior to me having my daughter. And it's unfortunate. And you know, he has multiple children too that he doesn't have contact with, that he's not allowed to see. So it's unfortunate that
In the garage.
that life plays out like it.
What's laundry doing in the garage here? She'll never find his laundry in the garage. She never comes in the garage. What the fuck? That's such a weird place to hide alcohol.
Does. If I'm just being honest, I was too young to be having children. I was too dumb to be having children. I'm not saying that I regret my children, but
Oh, like your washing machine's in the garage?
nothing of the such. But what I am saying is that I was too young and too dumb to be having children. I was still a child myself, birthing children. Even when I had my daughter, I think I was 28, 25. Brooke. I think I was 25 or 26. I don't remember. Even then, looking back now, I was still too young to be having children. Even
That's an alcoholic. Shots and then go belligerent. Because, like, I think the mindset is, I'm just going to have a couple shots and mellow out. But then instead, it's like the song, "We're not gonna take it," starts playing in their head. And then they just are like, "Ah, I'm going to fucking start fights with everybody."
at 26, 27, I don't care if I was 28, I was still too young to be having children. And, you know, kids are not really like on my to-do list anymore because I've already got two, and I obviously couldn't even take care of them financially. Kids are not on my agenda anymore. So I regret not getting my tubes tied. I should have got my tubes tied. That's literally
Just picturing this guy carrying around his laundry basket everywhere.
one of the few conversations I ever had with my dad, and now I regret listening to him. You know, it's crazy because one of the last times I saw him, my dad, we went to a Mexican restaurant to get some food. And, you know, all I'd wanted to hear most of my life is that my
For real.
parents were proud of me. And I never heard that until that day. And he told me, he's like, "I'm so proud of you, da-da-da-da-da-da." You know, and I really thought that I would get some kind of good feeling on the inside hearing him say, "I'm proud of you." But actually, I didn't get any fuzzy feeling. I didn't feel anything. I questioned why I was even there eating with him. You know, some people might say, why would you go eat with a man that molested you?
That's a good question.
Well, when it's the only living fucking family you got, sometimes
It isn't, though.
you make poor choices. That's how codependent, toxic relationships
Your brothers, aunts, uncles, extended family.
work. That's what codependency is. Not being able to pull yourself out of a horrible, toxic fucking situation. You know, I think I was 16 when he came into my bedroom to molest me. And, you know, I didn't tell anybody. I actually ran away from home. And I stayed gone for almost a year before the cops found me.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of breadcrumbs today.
But when the cops found me and brought me back, I told my mother. I told her that my dad had molested me, you know, and she stayed with him. And I don't fault her for that. I don't fault her for that.
I mean,
What
you
I do
should.
fault her
You
for-
should fault her for that. If what you're saying is true, why wouldn't you fault her for that?
Is the gaslighting. You know, my mother would say, maybe it didn't happen like you think it happened, or maybe you were dreaming, or maybe, you know, maybe you're just tripping, maybe
But do you have a tendency of lying about every fucking thing? Because I can't, unless your parents are just pieces of shit. Why would they say things like that? Unless this has happened before and has been proven to have been like, you're full of shit, which is like the boy who cried wolf. Like, that sucks. That really fucking sucks if that's what happened. But that's why you don't lie your pants off all the time. Like, that's why it's like, we'll never know. We'll never know for sure. All we know is that the stories keep changing. So, and then she'll say stupid things like, I feel like I was just neglected. Like, I was left alone a lot. I don't know why I feel that way, but this is just how we're going to say shit happened.
you made it up in your head, you know. It's pretty fucked up to have your daughter tell you that your husband molested her, and then you sit there and say maybe she made it up, maybe it was a dream, maybe it was a figment, what do they call it, a figment of your imagination. Like, I think about that now, and I really just think that my mom had been
You said he went to jail. You said that they arrested him for this and stuff. So how could she even say this?
with this man for almost 20 years, and she did not want to think any more poorly of him than she already did. And she was also
Because, like, look, Brooke's dad is a sex offender. He's on the registry. It doesn't say who he did it to, because that's, that would violate the Child Protective Act, right? So, like, I don't know. All I know is that he's a piece of shit, but it just doesn't, none of this makes sense, man.
dying with cancer. So she needed him. She needed him at the time. And he stayed with her until she died.
Must be the stepdad if he stayed with her till he died.
You know, I don't fault her for that. But I do fault her for gaslighting me. Trying to make it seem like something else went down. You know, and he didn't do anything. He just came in there and he touched on my butt and my vagina. And then he, like, grabbed my hand and put it on his dick. And I'm just like, I remember laying there, keeping my eyes closed, trying to pretend like I was asleep. And I feel like I remember jerking my hand back. And that's when he got up and walked out. You know, and then, you know, he also had diabetes. So then he was trying to say that he could have had a diabetic coma moment. What the fuck? You know how far you got to go from point A to point B to get to my damn bedroom? It's all the way down the damn room. Like, all the way down the hallway. Like, you couldn't even get my mama's room mixed up with my room. It would be impossible. It's on two separate ends of the house. And, like, you know, my family just kind of gaslit me during this moment when I told them about my stepfather molesting me, and it was not right. You never re-victimize a victim. And that's absolutely what they did. They tried to make it seem like I was crazy, like I didn't know what was going on, or I was dreaming, or it was just is it figment or pigment?
I wasn't expecting her to make me laugh. It's fucking figment, bro. A pigment is like a color. Oh my god.
Is it pigment or figment of your imagination? I'm an idiot. Pigment of your imagination. I wish I could
It's
get the
not
sticker off.
pigment.
You know, something that I've been over in my head 1,000 times is why. Why would you wait 16 years to raise me to start molesting me? Especially when you know that my biological father had already done that to me and he had served prison time for it. Then you witness me having all of these behavioral problems, on all of these medications, going from group home to foster home to foster home to group home. And then when I'm 16, you decide to turn on me? Like, I've been over this so many times in my head, it doesn't even make sense why he would wait 16 years to start molesting me. Was, you know, and another thing I was looking at, that's the age of consent. So, you know, I don't know. I can't make sense of why he waited 16 years to start molesting me, but he absolutely did. And even after this, I was so desperate to have any kind of family connection. Even after my mother's death, somehow I reconnected with my dad, you know, because it's the only dad I've ever had. And I forgave him. I forgave him for molesting me. I forgave him for lying about it. I forgave him for everything, and I allowed him back into my life because I had a daughter this time. I had just had my daughter.
What? That would be the worst time to try to reconnect with a fucking molester, is when you have your own daughter who could potentially be molested. Are you an idiot? Whatever. I don't know, man. No, I'm not even gonna comment on this story. You guys can come to your own conclusions on whatever you want to think about it. I know that if Destiny would be side-eyeing her right now.
And I wanted family, you know, I wanted to have somebody at the hospital with me. That's another thing. I gave birth by my fucking self. That was literally one of the most
Like there's no hospital involved?
devastating things that I've ever been through is that night in the hospital by myself with a newborn baby, not knowing what's gonna happen. Like, it was so fucking terrifying. At the last minute, one of my aunts showed up to watch me give birth. At the last minute, like literally, like I'm pushing and she...
I need to get in touch with this aunt. This aunt apparently has been involved in very key moments of Burke's life. The arm breaking, the birth, other various things.
Pops in and she's like, I'm here. And that meant so much to me at the time because I literally had been giving birth by myself, you know, and it meant so much to have her there with me. I went through my pregnancy alone. And actually, that's not true. I had my mama. My mama was still alive when I was pregnant. And God, she was so happy to see my daughter born. She loved my daughter and she watched my daughter all the time. She loved to spend time with my daughter. And
He stashed them.
I'm glad that my mama got that before she passed away, you know? I got the sticker off finally. I've been trying to get that off for months. Cannot believe I burnt that. Yeah, Mama was one of the sweetest, most giving, caring people ever. And she
That's why I kicked her in the crotch.
spent so much time with my daughter. She wanted to watch my daughter all the time. And, you know, I really wanted her to have that time with my daughter.
What are you talking about right now? Is she talking about her grandma? Because her mom was already dead when her daughter was born.
You know, and so I'm grateful that they got that time together. But going back to my father, when I gave birth at the hospital, I decided to call him for emotional support because my aunt had
Nah, her mom. She's got to stop calling her grandma mama, because like I just think she's talking about her mom.
showed up when I was pushing, and it was literally like she gets there and I pushed 2 times and my daughter was born. And so my aunt stayed for like an hour or 2, spent time with me and the baby, and then she was gone. And that night, I'll never forget that night, I was so depressed. It was literally one of the saddest moments. Like, I don't know, it was probably postpartum, but I remember the despair and hopelessness that I felt after giving birth. And it had nothing to do with the child. It had nothing to do with my daughter. It had to do with the future and financial security and stability and, you know, it just the unknown and how am I going to do this by myself with no help and no family and no financial resources.
Why did it? Oh my god, it broke again. The highlights broke again. The fuck is going on with this shit?
And, you know, it was a really hard night, but I remember I called my dad and asked him to come visit me at the hospital, and he came up there, and that's when he talked me out of tying my tubes. But even after everything, I still forgave him and accepted him back into my life. And it was only when his girlfriend, who he's been with, he was probably seeing her before my mother died, if I'm being honest, because he cheated on my mother several times. One for sure with her best friend, and then this other lady that he's still with currently. And honestly,
yeah, they're dead this time. No, it's not Stream Elements. I was trying to see if Stream Elements had like an alternative to this, so they don't. They have a countdown alternative, but their countdown's like stupid. They had a snow alternative actually. I don't even know. I found like everything but the thing I was looking for. And then when I was going to make my own version of this, I would need to host a domain, and I don't want to do that. So I either have to figure out how to do it offline and then just like do it some other way. So basically, like, if it doesn't matter, I'm gonna get too far into explaining this. Remember when I was doing it the other day and yesterday, and the words were see-through as well? If I could just make the background color like magenta or something, a color that wouldn't be too common in people's profile pictures and not white, then I could just, that's all I need to do. I just need to make it on like a local file or something, without using API. It's annoying. It's annoying because I don't know. It's just like broken lately.
I don't know if he's even alive. I don't know. It's been 10 years.
Ashley should still work actually, because that is through Stream Elements. I just can't highlight things because I use just a browser extension for that.
So I don't even know if the man's alive. What done it was I got a phone call. Hold on, let me think. My brother had a deployment. He came back from his deployment. I had my daughter. And I hadn't seen my brother in...
Unless there's a way. I wonder if I could... Can you do HTML in like a Google Doc? Or JavaScript? If I could find a site that I can just host, like, I don't know, my own HTML on just for like a temporary page. That's the only thing that's my only obstacle right now. I don't want to have to pay like $10 a month for some bullshit just to highlight comments.
Years. So my brother wanted to meet up at my dad's house with his new girlfriend and my daughter so we could have dinner together. So we had dinner.
Google Pages, that's that? Okay, that might be a workaround.
I don't remember why I got a phone call, but I got a phone call from my dad's girlfriend, Amy. And she said, she accused me of trying to sleep with my dad, y'all. I cannot make this shit up. Listen to what I'm telling you. I get a phone call from this crazy bitch that was probably cheating with my dad when my mother was still alive and dying. I get a call from this bitch, and she's accusing me of sleeping with my dad.
Why? Why would they say that?
It upset me so bad, I didn't even know what to do. I immediately got off the phone with her. I told her she was crazy and a sicko, and I hung up and I called my dad.
No, so like, can you guys see this? See, there's like this. I'm being lazy right now, but you see how there's that URL right here? So if you put that, when this thing's working, if you put that URL in, it'll just show like the comments highlighting. But someone pays a domain for that URL, right? So I need a way to do this and put it as a browser source, but have it not be a browser. Well, no, it could be a browser source. I don't know how to explain it properly right now.
And I said, hey, Amy's over here talking crazy, saying that I'm trying to sleep with you and blah, 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 blah. You know, this son of a bitch, he says, quote, well, you know, sometimes I do think about it. I think about you and me like being together.
What the fuck?
I haven't spoke to him since. Haven't spoke to him since. The moment he admitted that he had fantasies about sleeping with me, I knew that I was not tripping, that he molested me. I knew it without a doubt. Like, I already knew it before he said that shit, but after he said that, it was a wrap. It was like, whoa, this is sick. This is weird. Let me tell you something, though. Psychologically speaking, they've proven that perverts like that, they get obsessed with generation after generation.
I thought this was the one. So this was her actual dad, the biological dad, who apparently went to jail, right? Because she said he's probably cheating on my mom before. Is this a stepdad that he also was cheating on her mom? Because she just says dad. She doesn't like specify.
I was talking about.
But like, how would she be like, I didn't even know this if he had already molested you? Same with the stepdad, actually.
Sexual perverts, let's say like a sex offender. Let's say your neighbor was obsessed with you when you were a little girl. When you have a little girl, he's going to be obsessed with that little girl because he was obsessed with you. It intensifies with each generation. So, like, if you got a father that molested you and then you have children, you already know that that obsession is going to be passed down to your children. The obsession, the sexual perversion he had over you will now be passed down to your children. It's absolutely sick, but it is a psychological thing that actually happens a lot, and it's disturbing. So I can't help but notice how much I look and would remind my dad of my mother. And then biologically speaking, he's not biologically my father. So is he wrong? I think so, absolutely. You're the only father I've knew for my whole fucking life. You're disgusting to even have thoughts like that, first of all. But
well, yeah, it's like Woody Allen, right? Woody Allen's a fucking sick pervert. I think it's Willie. How he's getting mixed up. Yeah, Woody Allen.
But second of all, it absolutely, in my mind, gives some kind of explanation as to why he never was a father to me, why he didn't horseplay, why he didn't joke, why he didn't hug me, why he didn't touch me, why he wasn't affectionate and normal like a normal father, you know? It actually, him saying that to me, that he thought about having sex with me, it just kind of confirmed and validated that I had made the right decision by cutting him out of my life when I was 16.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Woody Allen married his stepdaughter. And it's also in the Epstein files.
You know, there's definitely a reason that God has put this many perverted people in my path. The more I talk about these things, the more I realize how unnatural they are. I mean, literally every 1 to 2 years of my childhood, I was getting sexually molested by a new person. You know, it's a miracle that I didn't come out a perpetrator myself. It's a miracle that I'm not a child abuser. It's a miracle that I'm not a sex offender. It's a miracle that I'm not evil. It really is, because once again, all the cards have been stacked against me my entire life. It's important to analyze this stuff, you know. It helps you heal from it. If you've gone through trauma, or you've had a rough upbringing, or if you've been through anything that was traumatic and you're not processing it, you'll never be able to get over it. You have to process it. And, you know, these things, Jordan says you need to wait 18 months after a traumatic event to process it. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. I start processing stuff that I don't need to be working on yet. I'm still, you know, for the past few months, I've been kind of grieving over my mother's death. You know, when she passed away, I was a child. I was also doing drugs. I was also under the rule and thumb of a sexual predator. So I don't think that I really grasp how it would affect my life, you know, not having her. I don't think I ever processed it when I was young. I think that I just lived through it and dealt with it. And it's good to be able to be on autopilot like that, to be able to just live through things.
Ow, what?
But it's important to go back and process it, to heal from it, to deal with it, to grieve. It's important to grieve in general, you know.
Yeah, this is a pretty crazy stream. We're like just over halfway through, but I'm hungry and my highlights are not working. I don't know why. So just lay around and moan Jesus, because now they're showing up on like the web page, but they're not showing up on OBS. So we're just gonna end the stream, and I'm gonna eat something and maybe we'll come back for more stupid Brooke, because I want to get through this stream today. So that's my plan. That's my plan. And apparently, like, I don't know, I should be ending streams after 2 hours anyways, is what every other streamer does. And I don't know why, but I've noticed that. So maybe we'll just start doing that from now on. Anyways, I'll see you guys in a bit. No, not peanut butter and toast. I don't have toast. I have to get a bunch of stuff. I'll see you guys in a bit. Toodles for now.